ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another super hot fire episode of Good Morning Azeroth, episode 48. You'll love to see it. April 16th, 2020. I am accompanied today by the whole gang. We have Crixx, Defcamp, Dunedain, even Melderon is here in spirit. He is just chilling out in the voice comms. There he is. And then we also, ladies and gentlemen, a few of you, maybe a lot of you, are aware of this gentleman. Everyone should know who this gentleman is. One of the first content creators, of a handful of content creators that were making content on this game that we love many, many moons ago. I mean, it might have been even close to a decade at this point. I am, of course, talking about one of the co-founders of Private Chat, one of the co-founders, one of the pillars, the original pillars of this community, way back, way back, many years ago. Of course, the Elemental Shaman, you know him, you love him, played on many private servers, the one and only Orcbit, man. How you doing, Orcbit?
I am terrific.
Oh, I love that. I love that voice, Orcbit. It's like soothes my soul, man.
Right? It definitely does.
Yeah.
It soothes my soul to hear you guys again. So, back at
You're the first one I ever subscribed to on YouTube. It's insane to be in the call with you.
Yep. Dude, we're in the same boat, man. Back in the day, I'm trying to remember what year this was. I think it might have been 2014, 2015, right? He did Private Chat. He had Mr. GM, Dodgy Kebab, Orcbit, Hamster Wheel, who's an absolute legend, still making content to this day. Alex was on the channel for a little bit. Man, Orcbit, how long is it? When did you first start making content and doing all this, man?
I mean, I've always put out some meme shit here and there on non-serious accounts like Nax videos or whatever, just to share with the guild. But I started really when Nost got shut down, or a bit before, I can't really remember. But that was what really pissed me off, that Nost got shut down. And I don't know, for some reason I felt like I had to voice my opinion or just do something. And that was kind of it. I mean, for many years, many of us have had these thoughts of making YouTube or whatever, but we just never did it. And the Nost thing was just what pushed me, because I felt like there was a purpose to it, more than just memeing it, stuff like that.
A lot of people were in that boat off the back end of Nost. A lot of people started. That's what Melderon's story was too. We're not to get ahead of ourselves here, but real quick, guys, let's do a round of intros. But I mean, not intros, but catch up. We'll see how everybody's doing. But real quick, Defcamp, you ready to bless the people?
I'm ready. In all respect and the presence of Orcbit here, I'm going to put down cure disease totem. All right, we're going to put down a cure disease totem and a poison cleansing totem. So here we go, guys. You ready? You might want to turn down your speakers. Let's do it. Good morning, Azeroth. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Good morning, Azeroth. Number 47.
48, baby. 48.
48.
Oh, I have 47. That's my bad. I debated you. It's supposed to be 48. It's supposed to be 48, the title. There has to be some scuffage. We almost got away with it clean this time. There had to be one thing. One small minutia of an error.
There always is.
Always is.
47, I think.
47 episodes with errors in every single one.
Wait a second. I think you're right, Kargoz. It is 47.
It is 47. It's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, it's 47. Yep.
I'm sorry for making your speakers graying out.
Okay. All right, let me change that back.
At least I didn't break your speakers like I did for that one poor fella. I literally bust their speakers in their car.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
We're sitting here scratching his head like, what did I get myself into? What is this?
Ears bleeding.
I missed it, man. I missed it.
Orcbit, you have a fellow European on the panel here to help balance it out. So you have a liaison here into the American small brains here, and we're going crazy and stuff. So Dunedain is here to hold it down for EU with you. But guys,
it's great.
How's it going, man? How was your week? A lot has happened. We're all in lockdown. We're all losing the plot.
Yeah, obviously CG launch yesterday night, midnight in EU, and my cat is going crazy for some reason.
She heard ZG and she was like, yes!
Yeah, we had the idea to speedrun it, or to try to hit server first, and in the end we got server second alliance, so that's not bad actually for a casual guild. I
Not
really
bad at
liked it.
all, dude. Give yourself some credit. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun, to be honest. I never speedrun anything before. Most of us didn't do it before, so we just went into it kind of for the first time, most of us. And yeah, I streamed the whole thing, and it felt like we just rushed through it, and it went really good and smooth. And at some point, we knew that we were second, so we were pushing and pushing. It was really great, really.
I was actually watching you, Dunedain. Like, I was really impressed with your guys' just overall like tempo and you know, just performance. You guys were doing great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but just the launch was a little bit scuffed. I don't know. I think it was
You guys,
worse in
especially
EU
you,
than
right?
it was. Yeah, it took us, I think, like 25 minutes for everyone to just being able to enter, and then the servers went down, and well, a whole lot of crap happened. But yeah, we entered in the end, so that was the main thing.
I think what your cat was doing was she was angry at you for the genocide of panthers that you killed in ZG last night. By the way, she's freaking out.
And tigers, dude. All tigers.
And tigers,
Tigers and panthers.
Lions, tigers, and bears. Yep.
Crixx, how the hell are you, man? How's it going?
Great, man. I'm just TBC hyped up.
TBC
Making
hyped
some
up.
guides as we speak. Getting ready to pop them out tonight.
Crixx is almost. I don't want to. Well, I'm not gonna blow up your spot, but you've been playing a lot of TBC, man, and you've been really enjoying it to the point where you're. You know, I think it's safe to say you're probably even enjoying it more than Classic, personally, right? With your streaming success and everything like that.
Yeah.
So.
Ask my Classic guild about that one. They're upset with me.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have Crixx here. He's becoming very quickly a TBC big brand. Not to say that you aren't already. I'm not sure your exact experience level with the game, but he's been playing it a lot recently. A lot of the talents and stuff is fresh in his mind. But yeah, it's good to have you here, Crixx.
Thank you. Welcome.
Melderon, brother, you still here, Doc? How's your week, man?
I'm here, bro. I'm here. I'm just in awe that we have this shaman presence today, and it's just a great thing to have. You know, Orcbit, personally, man, I miss you. Miss talking to you. It's really good hearing your voice. I know the classic WoW community is. It feels there's a little bit of a spot missing without you making content. I know you've been making new stuff. You put out a video, I think today or yesterday.
Today actually.
Yeah, and it's just TBC is really the idea of TBC. I think really invigorates a lot of people. It's the game that I always say. I think like Classic is the game is when we got hooked and when we got addicted. But I think for me at least is when TBC is when I fell in love. And I think that's something. Oh, we got a little bit of crackage going on here.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
And no, it's good. And so I'm just glad to be here, and glad Orcbit's here.
This feels wholesome as fuck, man. Having all you guys in here, dude. Real talk, real talk. This is great, man. Thank you for being here, everybody. Defcamp, how are you, man? How are you, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, and again, I'm really excited to be back with Orcbit, and in reverence or whatever of his presence here, I literally just before the stream got my shaman to level 60, so super excited about that. Super ready to do some elemental, eat some gnomes, destroy some alliance, and I'm so excited.
You have some of the best shaman mentors that'll help you, freaking
seriously, I just literally before this had Melderon in here going over tier sets with me and stuff like that. So I'm just so lucky that I have these surrounded by these amazing shamans. But yeah, for my priest, my priest is obviously still my favorite class. Did ZG with him last night, cleared that. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to the future of this game and being with you guys in the community.
Same here, brother. Orcbit, how have you been, man? Maybe give us just a little formal update to the people. For a while there, I was wondering, what happened to Orcbit, man? Orcbit was, you've always been one of my favorite WoW content creators, man, real talk. And, you kind of dropped off there for a second. I don't know if there's anything you feel comfortable sharing or, what your plans are, coming back. Are you going to be, making content stuff again? How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a long story, and today's topic is TBC and stuff. So let's not go all Dr. Phil on that shit. But
Dr. Melderon,
a lot of real life shit. Some of you know I used to live in Canada. I had to move back to Denmark. A lot of stuff went down there. So it took me some while to settle again, and just in general, just a lot of real life shit. And when you are at that point, what you think about is not, I'm gonna crank out some YouTube videos, or I'm gonna go live stream or whatever. I have been playing a ton, all the time, but I've just not been doing content because I had to fix real life stuff, and you just have to be in the right mindset to do content. Otherwise, it just feels forced, and I don't really care about that. So lately, the content I've been doing is just PvP videos because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy PvPing. I like melting alliance. Like if I could make it into a shop in real life, that's probably what I would do. But I doubt it would sell.
You can melt alliance. You just said you're gonna
melt.
Oh, okay.
But
I like the melting alliance.
Funny enough, there's always some good and some bad, and this whole Corona crisis, being forced to stay inside, obviously it doesn't change much if you play Classic all day anyway, but it does change a lot with the the economy and like jobs and shit. And there might even be, if we have to stay in longer now, I am thinking of coming back, doing content, doing streams again, and all that good stuff. I've been doing it a bit in this Corona time, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. I realized how much I missed it, and how much, even though you do have things you have to deal with in real life, you can still stream because the community is amazing. People like you guys. I'm humbled by the way you fucking received me in this podcast already, right? And it's the same if I go stream once in a while. People are so kind, and where you been and all this stuff, that you just kind of forget about all the bullshit you have to deal with constantly. So I am in a position right now where I seriously consider just going full ham because I have nothing else to do. So yeah, I don't know how much
chain lightnings, man. They got me addicted to watching your videos because of chain lightnings.
Yeah, dude.
I see already grouped up. I'm like, oh, there's the chain. Let me see the cast bar and just wait to see the numbers. I love it, man.
You know how it's probably like a psychological thing, right? It feels really good when you see those crits. And I don't know if I think I've gotten addicted to playing Elemental Shamans and seeing those crits. Like that's just all I want to do. I just want to go in and pop
you don't see them much, man. I don't personally see him as a warlock, so I love seeing it on yours.
Yeah, it's really fun. So but yeah, I think this one.
Well,
go ahead.
It's really good to have you back, Orcbit. I just want to say, if I think back to the very earliest inning of my YouTube scene, of YouTube content creation, I was making some retail videos or something back in the day. Like I was doing some Legion PvP as a survival hunter, and I was doing some.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember, right? Yeah. But listening to like the private chats and just you chilling with Hamster, Dodgy, and all the original gang, watching you guys in action. I would be just like playing or leveling on the private servers, listening to you guys. It gave me such a good feel, man. I was like, dude, I want to step up and be part of this game more and make content for this game because the community, like the friends, the people here seem really awesome. Like they seem like really good friends, and like I want a piece of that, and I just, it's crazy that it's come so many years, we're still here, and now you're coming back. It kind of just brings it full circle for me, man. It's good to have you here. Like the fact that
the community is amazing. It gets a bad rep sometimes, but that's just because the empty barrels, they rumble the most. It's a minority that will always cause a ruckus. But to be fair, like the way you receive me when I haven't been on here for ages, and like when I turn on the stream or I upload a video once in the blue moon, it's so great, and people are amazing, and it's great to be back and talking to you guys. It really is.
It is, man. It's a treat, guys. So Defcamp, man, how do we do this? There's so much to go over. We can talk about ZG. We can go right into the agenda. I guess I'll bring up the PowerPoint real quick and just show what the loose agenda is for the stream. Give me one second. Okay. I'll go over to our other stream. So GMA 48. Let me fix that. We did our catch up. Classic news and updates. There was a little something here to talk about. Ale brought it up in our chat. I don't know if anyone wants to bring it up because I don't really know too much about this woman, but apparently she's the classic WoW team. Or Melron, you here, man? I feel like you know like a lot about this, man.
Yeah, let me just look at it one more time again because I just basically
in the chat again.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could do that.
The link I just did.
Oh, perfect. So basically, Blizzard just hired someone. Her name is Holly Longdale, and she was involved in the original EverQuest. And I don't know how long she worked for them, but I know that she's coming over to Blizzard now. I don't know where she'll be working. Like, no one knows what she's going to be working with. and I would doubt they'd put her on the Classic project because I think that's pretty much rolling out content phases. So I think you wouldn't use her brain in that scenario. I'm guessing that she would be used in retail. And I have to say, I've been watching some stuff. When Crixx was talking about it recently about Elemental Shaman, but so far, I'm not going to go anywhere farther away from that, but so far, it looks like they're making some really good changes for retail. I'm not going to start playing retail anytime soon because I have enough on my plate, and I'm looking forward to TBC. That's where all my energy is going towards, but it looks like they're trying to patch some things up. So I don't know if she's going to be used in that category or what the deal is.
Actually, I hope so, because if she was going, it looks like she was with EverQuest for 10 years.
Okay.
And EverQuest is more on classic TBC side than how retail is.
To
Before
classic,
that, looked like she worked for Disney for 8 years before that, Disney Films. She knows her shit, so hopefully it's for the TBC side.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
Definitely for classic. It's in the LinkedIn.
It's for classic.
Yeah, she joined Blizzard to focus on World of Warcraft Classic, rather. Can be TBC Classic.
Could be
but it
TBC.
says Classic.
But my question is like, right? That's my point, right?
Well, there's quite a lot that they can. I guess more like the meta story, not the gameplay stuff, but more like what do we do with the server size in TBC, stuff like that, maybe.
Well, that would be good. Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of problems with servers. So Al and I did a video on that recently. There's a lot of issues with servers right now, but yeah, it just seems like a big acquisition for something that you don't need to actually create anything for. But yeah, that's a good point, Dunedain.
So she was a big brain in EverQuest. She was like a really big
10 years.
10 years. And EverQuest, let me get this straight, because my buddy Chris, who I'm close friends with, one of my groomsmen at my wedding, played Halo, all the games with, he played EverQuest, and he played EverQuest before we ever got into WoW, and I watched him play it, and it kind of had that old school MMO feel. Is it one of those games that was kind of like classic WoW?
Yeah.
That was like...
Yep.
It was? Okay.
It was arguably better. You never know. She was the executive producer for 10 years for EQ1 and 2. It looks like it's saying.
So that's
and
like
before that, it was
Ian
a Disney film.
Hazzikostas for EverQuest, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if she played like Ian did, though. Ian used to play, wasn't he? Elitist Jerks?
Mm-hmm.
He was Ian.
We
Five Priest Ikari almost.
They almost did Five Priest Ikari. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. So that's huge. And then also, Meldron, you were saying that over the past months or something, they've been hiring for classic devs. And why would they be doing that? It probably means that they would be doing it for TBC or something.
Yeah, they had a hiring opening in like February for Classic specifically. So my question to you is, after the game's been out for 4 months, why the hell would you be hiring more devs, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they could also call it Classic TBC. And keep it
that's what
that's what I'm getting towards. The only possible reason they would be hiring anyone in February is for TBC, right?
I mean, either way you look at this, in my opinion, it's good, because it could be number one. It could be like what I think is the most likely thing is probably working towards the Burning Crusade. Number two is there's obviously a lot of issues right now with server stability, with server balancing. I am wondering if they're going to try to address that issue, which is the number one biggest issue wrong with the game right now, is why people are being forced to transfer servers. It's why people are quitting the game some people at least. So either way, I think if they're coming in here on the Classic team, it means that, hopefully they're putting more money into it. Because a lot of us, we have the belief that, and, Kargoz, and I know a lot of people have it here, that like Blizzard was basically in the idea of, okay, we gave you guys what you want. Here it is. Whether it's a mess, whether it's this, whether it's whatever it is, we didn't want to do this. They kind of were forced their hand. I feel like that's a Blizzard. It's some people in Blizzard look at it like on the retail side or whatever, the higher ups. They look at it like, we were kind of forced to do this. The community, wanted this so much. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's changing a little bit. Maybe they're looking at it like, okay, this is something that we want to actually see if we can make it the best possible, and work with the community here.
This confirms that Classic is a big success and probably bigger than they expected. So they hire some important people for it. It's probably the reason the servers are so messed up right now, because there are too many people playing on it.
Yeah, not to go down the rabbit hole.
No. Sorry.
Go ahead, Orcbit, my bad.
I'm just saying, like, regardless or not, this is probably their only chance to fix the whole server mess they created, right? Because it's not like we can reboot Classic right now. Like, that ship sailed. But when TBC comes out, you know, it is a different game. Obviously, you know, you will still be playing with your guild and all that stuff. But whatever they're gonna do, this is the only time they can correct that stuff. Like with the TBC, with the servers, like whatever they're gonna do, transfer, copy, whatever the character is gonna do, right? This is the time.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
The one thing I just will say, not to go down the rabbit hole too much, but I've felt this way since the beginning of Classic. And yes, they have some smart people over at Blizzard. 100% Omar, shout out to him, like, you know, working on the project. But it's always felt to me like Blizzard has treated Classic like their redheaded stepchild. And Classic has been a success. It's, you know, we've even had third-party confirmation that the subs basically tripled overall for World of Warcraft, right? Once Classic came out, it had like a massive effect. And for a long stretch of time, maybe even until now, no one knows because they're not very transparent with information, Classic has kept up or even been bigger than retail for a period of time. So you'd think with that much traction and success, they would give it a whole bunch of attention and stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, it doesn't make them a lot of money comparatively. I've been playing Hearthstone on the side a little bit, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I probably spent like $200 on Hearthstone. It's so easy to spend money on Hearthstone. I think to myself, I just probably spent more on Hearthstone than I did in all of Classic. I feel kind of ashamed for myself. Like, just when you buy those packs and stuff, I don't know, man.
That's so true, though. You don't see the shop and the advertisement for, oh, look at this new mount that's, I don't know, a sheep with pink fur or some shit. You know? You don't see that. Classic. But you see it constantly in the launcher for retail or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we did, and we did. That's a good point, Caligula. Yes, we did, brother. Yes, we did. So I guess just to finish out on the Classic news, ZG came out. I think it was kind of a pretty rough release, I would say, guys. So the EU folks had a ton of issues getting in. I don't know if you did Dunedain, but I was talking to some of the progress guys.
It was horrible.
And I think we were lucky on our server because on Mokrane, for what I know about it, it took like 2 hours to get in, and we had like half an hour. So, but yeah, our server went to high population now. I just saw, which is awful. But EU had some big problems. I don't know how it was at your server, Orcbit. What server do you play on, actually?
So I just transferred from Firemore to Razorgore with the whole guild. And we tried at midnight, because it's EU. We got maybe 1 or 2 people in fairly quickly, but it took at least 1.5 hours to get all people out. Like, it was just either you were DCing, just standing in the portal, not zoning in, you know how it is, just a complete lag fest, which is surprising since the selling point of buying into the idea of putting all this on Blizzard's new system is that it's going to be optimized and integrated and all these fancy things, but it still works even worse than, the Russian basement servers that private servers used to be hosted on.
I'm just gonna say this, if this, which was not very much hyped in my opinion, CG, if this is such a big problem, I don't want to see AQ.
AQ is going to be unplayable.
The gates are going to be bad.
Do you guys think that, it's because, and I've said this before, right? There are, when you think about what the private server community guys did with what they had, right? The fact that, there are some times when when I was playing on a server that had over 14,000 people on it, at one point, it seemed like I had less lag than I do on a Blizzard server that has 3,000 or 4,000 people on it. What the fuck?
I think it's purely because right now too. I think it's purely because retail, right? It's basically like a rehashed retail game, right? It's the vanilla version of the retail game. It's the same client and all this stuff, and you don't get that in retail. You don't get hundreds and thousands of people going in, to try and enter a door or fucking clicking an orb at Blackwing Lair. You don't have that shit. So I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't have done it like this. I don't think it's done it any good in that regard.
I think so too. And if you just walk into Stormwind now, just before 8 hours, you can't really do anything. It was bad before the server transfers, but now you don't see anything moving. It just all lags out, and you wait for
you get your buffs, and then it DCs and rolls you back, and you have no buffs, and then you can go and cry.
That happened to me last night. I had it DC'd, rolled me back. I had more issues with lag on Classic than I do on the PC servers with a third of the people online than the classic server has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really bad.
it's insane. I think I still have some old videos from testing back on the old Mysterious core and all that stuff. And we are, thousands of people shooting firebolts at a big ass Van Cleef and all this stuff, right? And it was obviously it was a stress test. There were DCs and all this, but it worked really well. I still have footage from Anchorage opening on Lights Hope. It's laggy. There's 5,000 people. But it worked pretty well.
It did.
I think
Back to the point, though, that we now have those mega servers all over the world, and they can't handle it. That's pretty clear. So why did they go with the mega servers in the first place? Why didn't they go with something smaller?
We
a
will
lot of
never
people
know.
expected that we would have, I 100% expected that, okay, this is Blizzard. Like, we'll be able to have, 5,000 people or whatever, and maybe it'll lag a little bit, but it shouldn't be to the point where it's completely unplayable. You go in Blackrock Mountain and there's maybe 400 people there, right? And it's literally unplayable. Like,
yeah, I totally agree. Like the whole selling point of when they told us how they were going to do this, the selling point was, yeah, guys, easy. We're going to chop it up and Frankenstein the shit out of it, but we promise you it's going to be, it's all good because it's our brand new system and all this stuff, right? And personally, I was hyped for that. That was when I heard that, I was like, fine, whatever. I get to play a lag-free Anchorage event. I loved it, but the reality of it is it doesn't work. It only works with layering or sharding or some other new bullshit thing.
By the way, the layering thing, they brought it up again.
Oh, bringing it back, right?
Daunting,
oh my god!
daunting.
After they explicitly said that it would be a one-time thing, and that pisses me off.
Well, hold on. So I agree with you, Defcamp. However, no one foresaw this happening with the.
I understand that, but let's look at the other options because it was explicitly said. We can go back and find that post because I remember that it said if you're not a fan of layering, don't worry because it's only a one-time thing and it's only going to happen, for this long amount of time, and that was it. And you know what? I understand there are issues. I understand there are things, but put a little bit more money into this. Put a little bit more effort, whatever. Do what you got to do to make the servers better, not by implementing layering. I'm sorry. It's just to me that's a hard no.
Yeah, same. And to be fair, it's before Corona, we also had servers which still had queues and still had those issues. And now all servers almost all have those issues. But before Corona, there were also servers with the same issues. So I think that's not a valid point from them.
Also, the Melderon, I know what you mean by like they couldn't have foreseen it, but again, Blizzard is selling a product which is classic WoW, whatever, which contains a server you can play on. This server can contain, X amount of people. What they see fit, right? They set the amount of people who can play on these server. If it's then unplayable within their own ramifications, what the fuck, right? Like then don't make mega servers if you can't play the game.
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the whole. From private servers, the whole mega community, like 9K people on one server, right? Like I miss having not all of you guys on the same server. I hate being only on EU and then all my friends on NA. But I don't know, man. It just feels weird that I was hoping for, when they said, oh, it's only at release, and I was like, okay, cool. They're working on something to roll out by the time of AQ, so we don't need this. Because how can you say it's only for release when we all know that we're going to be, thousands of people in this zone? So I was hoping for an actual fix. But now that I just see well, we've just been sitting on our thumbs. Do you want layering again? No.
And we literally brought this up. Like I know I did, and a lot of us other did. We said, what's going to when the layering was around. What's going to happen for AQ? And those of you are saying, well, it's layering, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's in my mind, whatever. That's your argument, but like, it's inherently uncharacteristic for classic WoW to have layering. You guys understand what I mean by that?
I get you. I get you there. I'm not arguing that. I just think that there's somewhere in between the issue we have in the world and them not putting enough attention. It's somewhere in between there, right? It's not one or the other. I would say that it seems to me like when we were in Blackrock Mountain when Skyrim was healthy, and you literally couldn't have a PvP skirmish. That was just strange to me. Like when it worked on Light's Hope, when it worked on Nos, right? Orcbit, I mean, we were doing stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, there were these huge, massive PvP skirmishes happening.
Yeah, there's footage of it, everywhere out there of these skirmishes from the stress test and everything. This was even before it was optimized to the point where it is now. I mean, the NOS core now is pretty damn well.
Right.
To a point where I just don't get it, right? And we keep joking about this in the guild, like, oh, it's a small indie company, ha ha ha. You know, it's not, and that's why it's funny, because it's not.
Exactly.
They have insane resources, like insane
Millions of dollars of revenue per year.
Like, I just don't get it, right? And you just ask yourself, why don't they do anything? And normally you jump to like the whole server queue transfer stuff. I told myself, well, why would they enable transfers now where everybody wants it? You know, because they're going to wait for people to pay, right? Because it always seems like what they're doing is either too late or not good enough or what it is. And I'm just wondering, what are the thoughts of Blizzard? Like, are they seriously?
You're on a good point, Orcbit, man. This is what I've been saying for the longest time, man. It would be such a good look, because let's say this whole time, every issue we've had with Blizzard since the very start, since I've met you guys, you know, it feels like every week there's something that we're talking about and just wondering, scratching our head, like, why is Blizzard doing this? If Blizzard put forth a stronger foot towards communicating and had some CMs like Kyvax just come on Twitch every week and just be like, ask away, guys, ask away. And they could still be evasive and dance around some of the questions, like you see with the coronavirus, like updates. They get up there and they're talking, but oftentimes they're not even saying anything, but at least it kind of helps that they're there. You're asking like Dr. Fauci questions and stuff, and he's just kind of saying, I don't know, in weird ways. But, you know, at least coming on stream and talking to us and answering some of the questions would at least build a little empathy, like, you know, human-to-human connection where you see the people working on it and they're like, what if they came on here and you're like, guys, we agree with what a lot of you're saying. We just don't have the budget for it. Big
Absolutely.
Activision.
Yes.
Activision's not giving us
Definitely.
many resources. I'm over here. I'm shopping at Dollar Tree right now, trying to, you know, buying toothpaste at Dollar Tree because we don't have enough, you know, resources or devs or whatever. We want to do this too.
They do it for retail, right? They have those, every once in a while they'll have those panels where they have like Ian and shit like that. And don't give me the argument, well, it's classic. It's
it's fucking huge.
It's huge. It's a huge game that many fucking people play, and I don't care if it's that there's a lot of knowns and things that people we know what's going to happen. No, I don't care. There's more issues that have to be brought up and talked about in an open panel. Why is it every time someone brings up something like a classic in another scenario, it's like, oh no, bring that out of there. You can't talk about a taboo, and then when we try to have a dialogue with Blizzard about it, it's always brushed off unless it's like, okay, you guys are allowed to talk about this here. There are issues that need to be brought up there, and like Kargoz, put on your tinfoil fucking hats here, whatever. I know a lot of people think this is like a conspiracy, whatever, but is it because Blizzard feels like they were forced to do this, something they didn't want to do, and they're like, well, screw you guys now. We did something that we technically didn't want to do, and they're kind of just like, you got what you got. It is what it is. Deal with it. Is it that mentality? I don't know.
It's possible
exactly
they're
what you
low-key
mean.
trying to usher people back towards retail, though. That is definitely a possibility.
They really are. Let's look at Shadowlands changes. All the Shadowlands changes for classes are all classic related. Every single one of the changes.
I need to talk on that for a second. Thank you for bringing that up, Crick. And I know this is a little off topic for a second, but just bear with me, okay? I've been hearing a lot of positive things about Shadowlands, and
Me too.
let me just. I don't want to sound negative. I just want to be realistic here. We hear all this talk before every expansion. Okay.
Yep.
Every expansion, they're bringing this back. They're bringing that back. They're doing this. They're doing that. It's going to be great. It's going to be this. All I'm saying is have realistic expectations. That's all I'm saying. Look at what has happened in the past with these previous expansions. Look at what has happened in the past when they say they're going to do these things, and it turns out to be not entirely true. It's more of like, oh yeah, they brought this back, but it's not really, a big deal. They brought, buffs back, they brought this back, but no one fucking cares if you use them or not. Like it's not a huge thing that's changing the class. And all I'm trying to say here is I think a lot of people jump on the hype wagon, a lot of people, and it's okay to have hype. It's okay to be, I want that game to succeed.
TBC is going to dead it though, bro. If they come out with TBC, it is going to.
The thing is that they
rinse it
do.
down the toilet bowl,
let me just finish the point. One sec. So the thing is like, we had this before BFA. Everyone was so friggin' hyped. There was all this hype about, this is going away, legendaries, artifact power, blah, 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 blah. You have all this thought process going into, okay, it's going to be so much better. And then you look at the realization over time, okay, the content is you play through the little bit of content that's new. You go into, and it's the same fucking thing, the same old story, the same grind, the same lack of commitment, the same lack of feeling like you're getting something for what you're doing. The same issues that happen over and over again. There's too much of a mess of people that they're trying to satisfy in retail to where they try to make everyone happy, where it's not going to work in my regards anymore. I think we have to just be realistic with our expectations. So
it's almost like a debate sometimes because, we get a lot of abilities. For instance, shamans, elemental shamans get a lot of stuff, but no one knows if it's going to be garbage. And what's going to happen is Ellie Shaman, I'm not saying it will be, but it cannot be the meta, and then all of a sudden, Ellie Shamans are still garbage. Or whatever, insert class, whatever class you want.
Yeah, also, there's still Volpera and pet battles, so it can't be that good, right? It can't be that good.
Volpera and DK,
pretty big in the retail. They're revamping it. They're
riding,
revamping the whole
riding a fucking naked mole rat. What are they doing?
Riding squeakers, yeah.
I want to be a Volpera DK, riding the squeakers, man, dude.
Yeah, dude. There's still all that, so don't think it's going to magically become classic just because they added totems back.
Just because they made the cap level 60.
No way.
Oh, we made the cap level 60, and they still have the fact that when you're leveling, the classes level with you. All these things that have fundamentally changed in the game. I'm not
one example with shamans, by the way. They bring back Wind Fury, right? But if white hits don't matter as much as they do in classic.
Exactly.
Yeah, white hits are
Exactly, Dunedain.
So they brought back lock curses, thinking that's a huge deal when really it's not that.
Exactly.
It's not that exciting.
Yeah, the game has fundamentally changed so much that if you make these small changes are fucking just sprinkles on the cake, right? They're just like it's eye candy. It's something to look at to say, hey, we're doing this. But the core fundamental game, right?
You're still going to be grinding out useless things.
Same fucking thing that had felt since WoD.
Have you wondered if they do it deliberately? Let's say, they know we can't hit home, and they'll just be like, okay, but we just gotta hype the shit out of it because that initial wave of subs and purchases is just so there's so much.
Absolutely.
It will sustain the WoW budget for the next year, for the next expansion, which is why you see a drought period of content at the end. I just don't think they care enough to go all the way until the next expansion. At this point, they have the expansion. They already have the other one after Shadowlands waiting, right?
I think that's so true for so many.
How can they have that and still have content droughts? What the fuck?
Right. I think that's true.
You can't fake a good game, bro. Once TBC comes out, we're gonna see what the majority of people play. I really do think people are gonna play TBC because I've said it before. I'll say it again. TBC scratches the itch of the classic people and a lot of the itches of the retail people. It's got that balance of the modern.
It's that arena.
You are 100% right there. The people who think classic is a bit too hardcore for them and they can't be bothered leveling or can't be bothered running around everywhere, they will jump on TBC. They'll see the flying mounts, they'll see the quest hubs, they'll see all this quality of life stuff, which will bring them in. I have a lot of real life friends. They jumped off classic at level 50-ish. Because they just couldn't do it. They literally couldn't do it. I don't blame them. It's not for everyone. And they're like, yeah, we're waiting for BC, right?
Yeah, I know people in the exact same boat.
So many people. A lot of my retail, I came from retail, and I want to say 90% of them didn't make it to 60. They made the 40, 45, 50.
Yep.
And just gave up leveling.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. But they're going to... Yeah, they're gonna love BC though. Not only does leveling get better, just the whole... the whole niche of jewel crafting and finally starting to see everything getting viable. It's obviously it's a mixed bag. TBC, there's a lot of pros and cons with things getting viable that trivializes other things, yada yada, whatever. But overall, I think we all can agree that TBC is the only expansion that just builds on top of classic WoW, not adds too much shit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Other expansions kind of feel like, we have to revamp the game every time and do all this shit, where TBC just kind of feels like, okay, we're going to give classes a bit more of what they already have, some new stuff so they work. We have this new piece of land with new dungeon shit. There's still something happening in Azeroth, Caverns of Time, Hyjal, whatever. But it feels like they're building on top of Azeroth, on top of classic. It feels generic.
And remember, a lot of people want to play Horde Paladins. or Alliance Shamans, and they can't do that in Classic.
Yeah,
that's a big breaker for a lot of people.
A lot of people want to play a pretty race and there's nothing on the Horde, so that's a very real consideration. Somehow, bro. I mean, I'm curious, Orcbit. I know where everybody stands on this matter. I think maybe a little bit. I don't know exactly where Crixx stands, but let's start with Orcbit real quick. How would you rank TBC with relation to Classic? Like, are you a Classic boy at heart? Are you a TBC boy at heart? Like, try not to be biased here. Just look at every iteration of the game.
Yeah, so I would say the best way I could say it is Classic is my favorite game. TBC is my favorite expansion because it's weird, right? It's kind of like you have Death and Iron Maiden, and people like which one do you like the most? It kind of depends sometimes, right? And I have the same with Classic and TBC because yes, they are different, but they're still yet very similar. It's definitely easier to say between Wrath and Classic. I like Classic more. But with Classic and TBC, it's just it's two different things for me, and I like them for what they are, for their differences, not what they what they have in common.
What a based, like, just balanced way of looking at it. I like that.
Pretty
I'm gonna yoink that. Classic's my favorite game. TBC's my favorite expansion. I'm gonna go ahead and copy pasta that over to myself.
Sure. just give me some royalty checks every time.
Right. Crixx though. How do you? I know you've been on the TBC hype train, bro. Try to take a deep breath and just assess everything objectively. Out of because you played a lot of the retail games too. Like, how does World of Warcraft look to you?
I love retail. I still like retail. I don't play it anymore. I stopped playing it a few months ago, but I'm going to play Shadowlands until TBC comes out. I liked Classic when it came out. I think it just probably just is on my servers. All these servers I'm on, I have 4 or 5 hour queues on raid night, and that's kind of just like, maybe I want to get on and do a quick AV. Oh, there's a 45-minute queue for AV after I get in the queue. The problems with the Classic drove me to TBC. When I was younger with vanilla, I was like 14 or 15 when Classic came out. That put me at 16, 17, 18 for BC. That's when I started playing the game a lot, was BC. That's why I'm so into BC. And being able to be an adult and have the, our minds grown versus when we're 16 trying to play the game makes it that much more fun.
It does.
And then Lich King leads in Lich King is my favorite of all time when I play it. But that was because I was like 19. So I was like, oh yeah, I can actually really play this game.
So 1, 2, 3. What's your favorite? All things considered, favorite version of the game. Second favorite, third favorite.
But right now, I'd say TBC Lich Classic.
Ooh.
I really like. If we're talking about retail, I really like Legion. I love Legion.
You putting Wrath before Classic. I like it though. We got a little bit of a different opinion here. This is good. It's not
because Classic is boring to me. Because look, here's your options. I have a max character, blown out Warlock, and I raid. Next option is PvPing, and just to be petty, you can't even see the damage done on the scoreboard in BGs. If I could just see the damage done, I would BG so much more. But as a Warlock, you're not killing blows all the time anyway. Outside of PvP, you have a level alt just to do the same crappy raids again. So it's just really boring to me. So I've been raid logging for a while. TBC opens up Arena just alone, let alone not the classes and flying through all that, but the heroics, the amazing raids I'll talk about later. All this stuff that I'm doing right now is just so much more fun than having to sit in a queue and do the same thing I've been doing for 6 months.
I think that's a valid point there. There really is, because in TBC, there's always something to do when you log in.
Yes.
Right. The game hands it to you. You have so much to do. Professions are amazing, heroics, badges, all this good stuff. Where in Classic WoW, the game hands you nothing. You log in and you have to completely make up a plan of action of what to do. How to entertain yourself really, because the game won't do it in any way. Which is its charm, and for some people, it's it's bad side. But I totally get that.
One thing I want to chime into, so you guys know me in the chat, I'm a Classic guy at the end of the day because it gets so much more bonus points to me because it's the base game, and it was just, I love leveling and stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But one thing I'm curious about, because we see how Classic played out, and all the content on Classic right now is easier than it was on private servers. We know that. And that OG vanilla WoW, at least for me, I was a little chicken head back in the day, I was a little kid, 13 or something like that. So I didn't know how difficult stuff even was. I'm just sitting there out of combat rezzing people. So my mind's all foggy as far as how difficult it was back in the day. TBC, from the looks of private servers, seems like the difficulty level of normal dungeons, heroic dungeons, and raids are a couple steps up in terms of difficulty level. What do you guys think about that? You think that's going to hold true come real TBC, or is stuff going to be brain dead easy?
We know that bit Blizzard's gonna. Okay, so first off, they're hard as shit. Everything in that game is so much. It's so much more fun to do a heroic and sitting there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, wondering why we're wiping, and actually look up mechanics and have to CC and have to, pull succubus out, charm fear, babysit the fear. You have to do everything that makes it so much more fun that you can't do in Classic. I hope Blizzard doesn't just shit on it like they did, because the WoW Classic private servers were rough, weren't they? The raids were harder.
They were way harder.
Yeah, much
I
harder.
didn't play on the Classic one, so I don't know, but you see what they did, where they made it really easy. So if they make it really easy again, obviously I'll be butthurt, but you can just cash me on the Lich King server. You know what I mean? But if they make it normal, I hope they make it some kind of difficulty. Anything, do it now. AQ comes out, buff it a little bit, 10%, 15%. Like, give us something that it's a blowover. Like, everything is so easy, and I hope they don't do that to TBC, which they probably will. But I hope they don't, because it's a good challenge, man. All these raids are such good challenges. I would hate seeing 10 wipes on Mac Theron's lair, and then we go to Blizzard and you just one-shot it. It's not, you're not learning anything, you know what I mean? It's boring.
I think that's... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Apart from the server fiasco, I think the biggest thing here is they shouldn't make it too easy in BC. If they want to launch with 2.3.4, whatever it is, then buff the content for it. That's all I wanted to say.
I agree. I think 2.4.3 is just easier from so many different perspectives to implement, but I don't think it's hard to just bump up armor values and damage values. It can't be, right?
If a private server can do it with way less money than a Blizzard has it, there's no way you can't buff everything by 10%, 20%.
Yeah.
I think you should be careful with that statement. We have seen plenty of examples of private server doing something and then Blizzard failing at it. We were just talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what we have to...
It's not a video game if it's easy.
Yeah.
We're just mindlessly running around doing nothing.
So, like, my 2 cents on this whole thing is it all comes down to if we get pre-nerfed or post-nerf content.
Yes.
And there are 2 sides to that, right? So, as we've seen Classic, it was the 1.12 client, which we got because they apparently didn't have the data and the capabilities to blah, 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 whatever. However, they have all the data from TBC and onwards ready to go as it did back in the day, which... For me, I mean, it's a little light of hope. Like, it's burning. It's very little. But I'm like, okay, Blizzard, if you wanna score back all the points where you fucked up with the servers and all this other stuff, right? If you want to score some points, then make a progressive release, because you do have the data. We know it's what people want. I even think they shouldn't open Tier 5 content at launch. I hope they don't.
Me too. I'm so glad you said that.
They shouldn't do that. Because many reasons, like you just have a lot of people fucking steamrolling into that, and it kind of gets put off a bit with the whole season 1 being behind. Then, like PvP gear, you're just gonna have PvE plebs,
exactly
running amok, and and the other point was we were talking about the whole difficulty level of TBC versus Classic. I think TBC, maybe to some parts RAF, but for me it's just TBC. The APM, so the actions per minute or whatever you want to call it, was perfect. Right now, when I see retail WoW, the actions per minute are insane. There's just spells flying off like a Tommy gun everywhere.
It's a good way of explaining it. Yeah,
there's shit on the
lightning shit your ass.
Shit everywhere, right? and I'm like, holy fuck, what's going on? And you just see people just walking like it doesn't matter, right? So, and this is where when you talk to people who are like pro classic and anti retail or anti classic and pro retail, you always hear this argument, and you have the retail people saying, "Oh, it's much harder now. Look at all this stuff that's going on." But the thing that made, like, let's say classic WoW or TBC WoW hard is not how many people can you have jumping around, moving out of shit at the same time. Is your tank Defcamp? Is you gonna get a crushing blow? Right? It's much more of a meta game where you play with information and knowledge, not as much as actions. And I think TBC was so perfect with the amount of actions per minute, like stuff that was happening, and how impactful these actions were, right? You can have 1 million hits coming at you, but if they only do 0.1 damage, you don't care. But you can have 1 hit that will one-shot you, right? It's not the amount of actions; it's how they, they impact.
It's how they're done, and
TBC was perfect in my opinion.
Yeah.
One quick point.
So one thing, because whenever I look at this, I like to just objectively think, am I being selfish? Is this something because is what I want, what everyone wants, right? Objectively, looking at TBC, the dungeons, just like everything Orcbit said, there is a clear progression in difficulty in actions per second, actions per minute, whatever, in TBC dungeons compared to vanilla, like no matter what, right? There's a clear difference there in the dungeons, in the raids, in the heroic dungeons. Now, when we talk about buffing content, 10%, 15%, whatever, when we're talking about buffing, damage, and it's clear that a lot of us played on TBC private servers, a lot of us played on vanilla private servers, that this content was, either armor values were higher, damage value were higher, things like that. Now, I first like to see is I understand that none of us want to go in there and have a cakewalk and just blow through all the content, and it did feel that way in Classic in a lot of respects. However, we still have AQ to go. I think a lot of people are going to have a rough time in AQ, especially with Cthulhu. We still have next rounds to go as well. Right? That being said, there is a clear difference in what we expect and what the rest of the player base is expecting. People who have never played TBC before, people who are coming out of this from with no memory, no bias, anything like that, is what they're experiencing similar to what I'm experiencing. That's something I try to look at because I can only judge off my own perceptions, off my own experience, off what I've experienced. And in my own selfish ways, yes, I would like to feel more challenged. And TBC is absolutely more challenging than vanilla. I've done all the TBC raids, right? I've played it back in the day. I've done it on TBC private servers. And I justifiably remember, having, and that's the thing. I played it during the time when we had, before pre-nerf and shit like that, when things weren't nerfed. So I would like to see in some way that they could, with us having 2.4.3 talents, with us having the itemization that we had, like we did in Classic, that they can somehow determine, okay, and I think the player base has a say in this, absolutely, that objectively things are going to be a little bit easier because of the gear that we will be open to and the talents that we will open to. Should there be, and I think there is, some small change in the content to make up for that fact. And I think most people can agree on that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, but
there's also a hidden solution within the community, if I may. It might sound a bit weird, but in our guild, the first Black Moon Lair we did, we had a lot of new people to Classic. They never played Classic before, right? Black Moon Lair is easy, and I'm actually, it's easier than it was in private server. Surprise, but it will still wipe you if you fuck up.
Right.
And I think that's fine. And having a community, let's say, because when you play on a private server, you most likely have all veterans, right? Which is probably why a lot of the stuff was overtuned, because it just seemed way too easy. Coming into Classic, you mix this, pool of these quote-unquote hardcore players, all these private server players who know all this content, who know the shit out of this. You mix them with people who never played, and it sort of kind of works. Like, we didn't clear Blackwing Lair on the very first night we stepped into it, also thanks to Blizzard. We couldn't have everyone, everyone didn't get in, but I'm kind of hoping to see that it will be somewhat the same in TPC, also because it hasn't been theory craft to death like Classic. So maybe, hopefully, because we have this huge influx of new people who actually don't know the content, it will be harder. Just like Black Moon Lair. It's not like the content itself is hard, but if you don't do what you're supposed to, you will wipe, you will fuck up, And then I don't mind that, to be honest, because it should be easy if you know what you're doing. And
I think people start theory crafting a lot once we get closer to it too.
Yeah, but Orcbit, real quick to your point, I've never wiped and beat the whale, so I have no idea what you're talking about. that was an inside joke, Orcbit. That was an inside joke.
We wipe all the time.
Yeah. Dude,
last night was a mess.
Oh, we had such a horrible raid. But anyway, yeah, that's beside the point.
This is my point exactly, because I bet your guild, everyone in your guild knows what to do, right? You're pretty good guild. I assume if you don't wipe,
we're okay.
We do wipe. It's a strong.
That was a joke, Orcbit. That was a joke.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was an inside joke. I'm sorry. Last night we wiped way too much. So no, it happens. I'm just sorry. I should have prefaced the joke, but basically we had a shitty night last night, and when you said people will wipe, I was like, oh yeah, we definitely know what that's like.
So people were just excited for ZG for you guys. It looked like people were just excited for ZG.
I think so. Yeah.
Like my point was basically just that this whole discussion of content being too hard, being too easy, what will we get, what can we get, what won't we get? You know, at the end of the day, if you want it to be a bit harder, just this sounds a bit weird, just recruit some fucking noobs, right? It will get harder because you have to carry more.
That is true. Or do splits. I mean, you do splits. That's probably the best.
Yeah.
The more satisfying way to do it, right? You know, you make it harder.
I think a good difficulty barrier could be how they launched TBC2. Like, are they letting people come at 60 or are we starting at 58? If you're letting a world of people in there fully max gear out, they're gonna blow through that content right away.
Yeah.
All the content.
No, but you're absolutely right, Orcbit. There's a way to, TBC raids have a lot of those situations like what we do in BWL, where if you fuck up, no matter how low the armor values are, you're gonna wipe, right? And so yeah, I'm hoping for harder than what we've expected to see, but TBC's already a step up anyway. So
yeah, they trimmed a lot of the fat from literally from vanilla raids, right? You technically you can go into a vanilla raid with 25 people and then have 15 people who don't know what to do, and you know,
isn't that what we do? Oh, I mean, that's what it feels like.
But I think what they did at TBC was kind of like, okay, you actually probably should only be like 25. Organizing 40 is. It was hard back in the day. It's fucking easy now with technology, Discord and whatever, but it wasn't as easy as back in the day. I think that's also why they moved away from it.
Real quick, I just wanted to talk like what you said about having Hygel to wait on, like, Hygel, because I think with, obviously...
I think he meant tier 5 instead of
tier 5, not tier 6, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hygel's tier 6, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, Hygel was released at launch. You just couldn't do it until you had all the until you had you finished the what the fuck's it called?
Did you have to kill bosses in tier 5 to be
able to
you have to get the SSC thing.
The attunements, yes. So what I'm thinking is, okay, so come TBC, if Hygel is available, it was available at the launch. It took so long for people to get there because of the attunements and things like that. People will rush so far to try to do, Hygel as quick as they can.
Yeah. And
with that gear available, like I think it's more in the sense of no changes if we even just don't have that at a launch and push that out at content further on, because people are going to rush to get this as quick as we're going to see people in the first couple of weeks, clearing all the content that's available at TBC at its launch. And I think that would be possibly a mistake, because the difference between people who are, it's going to become like everyone's going to be like, oh, we all have to get this content done now as soon as possible. Next thing you know, you got people running, and it's just going to cause such a clusterfuck of everyone. Okay, every week we got to do this raid, that raid, and it's going to be, rushing to do all this content. Then they're going to have this whole dry period of nothing there, and it's going to be a fucking mess. So I think we need to gatekeep some of that content in order to protect the longevity, in order to protect the true feeling of TBC, because, some guilds got in there pretty early, but the amount that are going to get in there early this time around is going to be way fucking more, and it's going to have a huge detriment, in my belief, to the feeling of and most private servers do that as well. They will hold out on.
Right, because it makes sense. Like, if you release TBC today, obviously you would time gate the fucking content like any other expansion.
You have to. The reason that's why I'm with you as AT5.
Yeah. So when it came out back in the day, there was no realistic, it wasn't realistic at all for people to be like, oh yeah, they're gonna be level 70 in 4 days, and they're gonna have everything ready and cleared. It just didn't happen because people didn't know the content. It doesn't matter that it was open at the point. It wasn't really available because people didn't know shit about it.
Exactly.
So
tried its whole long Dale to figure it out.
Yeah, I really hope they do it, because what I've seen from Classic, what most people complain about, and what I hear from you, Crixx, is like, people get burned out because there's such a a competitive mentality nowadays that didn't exist back in the day to push it. Like there's so many people playing classic WoW who treat it as a job and doesn't really they don't really enjoy it that much. They just just have to do it because it's like hardcore mentality and to each their own. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I think that's one of the most important things going into TBC, honestly, is to time gate this the content in a reasonable way.
Not only to like please us and give us like the perfect journey or whatever.
Right.
It makes sense because you have the PvP seasons. You have season 1, season 2, all that stuff, which back in the day was going alongside the content that was clear.
Exactly.
You have people super early on jumping in with high-end PvE shit. It can't be good for the game.
No.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some classes, boys. So I'm going to drop a straw poll in the chat right now, guys. Let me know which class. We have 3 classes left to do. We have Rogue, Mage, and Hunter. Again, if you guys haven't made it for the last streams, we just do light and polite broad strokes, talking about each class, each spec, just our high-level thoughts on each one and how they perform in TBC, what is there to look forward to, what kind of sucks about it, whatever comes to mind. So if you have a second, go ahead and vote on the straw poll, and even including you guys in the call if you can. Let's see what we got here. We'll give it a minute. What are you gonna main? Are you gonna main Ellie Shaman in TBC while we wait for that to fill up, Orcbit?
Probably Ellie or some type of shaman.
They're so
it's
good.
TBC though, so yeah. So I'll have a mage for sure. I'll have a warrior. I'll have a shadow priest. I think at the end of the day I'll probably have each class. But TBC is just it's such a wholesome feeling for me. I don't know who. I think it was Crixx who was talking about what age you were when you were playing TBC, and I was about the same, and it's just it feels so good, and I just love that feeling of playing all these classes in TBC. I don't know why. I think it goes back to, as Crixx said, where I was at that point. I loved playing all these different classes. They all felt great, to be honest.
What would you play if you couldn't play Shaman? It seems like you're a Shaman enthusiast, but I'm curious what would be the number 2.
Maybe Shadow Priest.
Yeah. Nice.
Like that. Well, it looks like
Shadow Priests are the most exciting, I don't know, I guess the big turnaround whenever, because I've been playing, I'm not one of them, but there's a couple in our raids and our heroics and stuff, and they're
super cool.
Dude,
that's
I
super cool.
slap so hard.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
And the
good to
cool
hear.
thing that they did in TBC, because a lot of change in class designs that Blizzard has made over the years, kind of homogenized the whole scene. And I still think, obviously this was a kind of going in that direction, but it was still so early that it didn't break the game, and then it made these hybrid classes super viable without making them stupid, right? Instead of saying like, okay, elementary shamans and hunter shamans and the shadow priest, you just do the same DPS now as everyone else, and you can also do all this amazing stuff. They kind of made they just added on top of it again, like, okay, shadow priest, you're a mana battery now. Shaman, you're a buff your caster group, like we kind of do in classic, right? It's still building on that classic feel. It's amazing.
Hell yeah.
Elemental Shamans, I can't dude, they're so dope in TBC.
Oh, dude, I can't.
That Totem of
I can't
Wrath,
wait.
that Totem of Wrath against the 3% crit and 3% hit to all the casters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meldron did a
So you know
sick
why I
job of
want-
hyping everybody up for that.
Yeah, do you know
So
why I
nice,
want
man.
progressive
They're so
TBC? Because in the beginning of TBC, if I remember correctly, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last talent in Elemental, it worked differently in the beginning. How it works in the 2.4.3 is, you get a chance to essentially win Fury on your lightning bolts, right? You get a chance to proc another lightning spell with half damage and no threat or some shit like that. In the beginning, however, it was just a flat out double spell, right? It wasn't nerfed in damage or anything. It was crazy. I loved it.
what is it? Your last?
Really?
I thought your last ability was the Totem of Wrath.
Yeah, but
No, it's the second to last. Lightning overload. Lightning overload.
100% positive it was like that because I had a shaman ult and the patch came, but it didn't work for me, so I had to ticket Blizzard because it was bugged for me personally. It was something weird. I'm
Should've never told
100% positive.
You should
it
never
was
have
like that.
done it, dude. Like,
I know.
It was so good. I still remember to this day, like, being outside Shathra and respecking Elemental just after, because I was leveling as enhancement back then. I was so amazed by dual will. I went right outside of Shatner City, and there's these like fucking chameleon kind of things. The one that shadow step. They can like blink.
Oh, the
behind you.
warp stalkers.
Yeah.
Warp stalkers.
I run up to this fucker, put down my brand new fucking elemental totem, like, oh, get that crit, like amazing shit. I pop my shit, and I was just in love with that.
That's awesome.
That totem is fat. That's 3% crit, 3% hit, I think.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Absolutely, especially coming from a warlock's perspective. I get to lose 3% hit in my armor.
And you have a spell power totem as well.
If you're a Draenei Shaman,
Wrath of Air, which is 101 spell power.
101 spell power, I think.
Yep.
if you're a Draenei Shaman Melderon, you roll into raid with how much? Like 13% hit or something?
You get an extra. So you get 13% hit or whatever.
insane.
Yeah,
It's nice.
extra hit. Yeah.
All right.
Shaman surprised me the most out of everything.
It looks like Hunter is the number one pick, so we're just gonna hop right into it, guys. Hunter, we're here in the talents right now. So again, we have Beast Mastery, Marksmanship, Survival. This is what I played primarily in TBC. I played a bunch of different classes, so again, my brain is kind of foggy on this, but I will just give you the light and polite main changes that I can think of off the top of the head right now. Number one, you have Steady Shot, which is like kind of your bread and butter now. You have steady shot. You have kill command. You also have misdirection. Misdirection is huge.
Huge for raids.
For raiding, you can redirect the threat. is very, very good. Also, just as a general thing, as a hunter in TBC, you do some insane damage. You slap really, really hard. You're a tier 1 DPS. Another amazing thing. Let me tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you like hunters, traps in combat. I say again, traps.
That's so good.
In combat.
Really good.
It's so annoying, especially with the 400 millisecond spell batching in Classic. You know how it feels very wonky? It feels like almost half a second goes by before you're able to even do your little your feign into trap. Well, no longer. You don't have to worry about that. You can use traps in combat. I can't stress that enough of how juicy of a quality of life upgrade that is. Again, tier 1 DPS. You generally, from the PvE side, I'm pretty sure you rate as BM or survival, but I think survival you need to be really geared. So BM,
one survival.
You one survival? Okay.
Yeah, you keep one survival and the rest are either BM. And it literally is, I'm not joking, it's a one button macro. It's a single, their rotation is a single button, and they pump so hard. I posted a little thing in our chat, they pump they double DPS starting out. Even over Warlocks and everything else. Easily double DPS. It's not with everybody trucking off, they're really good. That's the last boss of Karazhan.
Yeah. And they have, threat dumps, feign death, all types of stuff. Yeah, I mean, hunters are solid, man.
They're broken. And in Heroic, you need them. You almost want one in Heroic most of the time because they can do all the pulls for you because Heroics are so hard to do, when you start out,
I mean, here's the thing, right?
Marksmanship and burst is so good.
A lot of people will say in the Classic...
completely unplayable in raids?
It's not in raids?
Yeah.
Better for PvP, isn't it? With silencing
PvP,
shot?
exactly, and scatter shot.
Marksmanship.
Yeah.
It's more of a PvP spec for arenas and stuff like that. But you can raid as survival, but you need to be really geared because you need a ton of agility to make the lightning reflexes and some of those abilities come online.
You need 2k agility to be able to run survival.
Yep.
Hunter is pretty high on my list, but I don't really like Beast Mastery.
It's so fun, man.
Here's the thing, too, man. So Hunters, a lot of people will say Hunters took an L in Classic. Like, if you look at the Hunter Discord, they've renamed it, joking around before, has been waiting for TBC Discord. A lot of these people have, a lot of these Hunters feel like, a combination of factors in Classic set them up for less success than they experienced on private servers. It kind of rubbed them a lot of the long way. For those of the people who have hung in there and have played Hunter and are Hunter enthusiasts, I think TBC, they're going to take a couple steps up in terms of power level. They're also one of the strongest arena teams is when you have a hunter and a healer, and pretty much the reason why is because of Viper's Thing. Viper's Thing gives you the attrition win condition in an arena setting because you are just constantly Viper's Thinking. You also use the Scorpion Pet because the Scorpion Pet has a poison, so you're trying to do everything you can to keep that Viper's Thing on. It's the bane of Defcamp's existence.
The mana aspect. Right, the mana region
aspect of the Viper,
yes,
aspect of the Viper, very, very strong as well. As you can see in the Beastmaster tree, looking at their final talents here. Well, sorry, do any of you guys have experience playing Hunter in TBC? Maybe I'm talking too much. Anyway, chime in whenever.
I have zero.
Okay.
Late TBC I've seen. Remember Jahaj Melderon?
Oh yeah.
Beast Within basically gives you the Bestial Wrath bonus. So you know how your pet, when you pop Bestial Wrath, like you know how frustrating that is to deal with, if especially back on private servers when you had like a Bestial Wrath Lupos. Yeah, good night, bro. He's going to snuff you out. But now at Beast Within, you also become enraged, so you can't be feared, you can't be really like stopped or whatever. In Marksmanship tree, you have Silencing Shot. So it's a shot that deals 50% weapon damage and silences the target for 3 seconds. That's just like a straight up blanket silence. They can't do anything. It's not like a lockout. It just silences them for 3 seconds. And then I don't really know too much about survival. I didn't really play survival. But Readiness, this immediately finishes the cooldown on your other hunter ability. So it's kind of like a prep for hunters. So I don't know like how amazing that is. Might be pretty good. But yeah, so we talked about rotation.
Isn't that basically like the same of like the CG trinket, the talent?
Like Renataki's, yeah, very similar. Yeah, it's like Renataki's, but there might be some other stuff to do as well. So as far as raid utility, you do get this thing called Ferocious Inspiration as a Beastmaster Hunter. It's going to increase all damage done by everybody in your party by 3% for 10 seconds. So every time your pet scores a critical hit, you're giving 3% damage increase. That's just one piece of utility in the raid. Then also your Scorpid Sting.
It stacks.
It stacks with other debuffs, right? Like, because there's
other hunters.
Other hunters.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, if you're running 4 hunters, 3 of them are running that.
Yeah. Yep. So that's pretty juicy. That's pretty juicy. Scorpid Sting, chance to hit with melee and range attacks reduced by 5%. I forgot if that's what it does in Classic as well, if there's some changes there. You don't really use Scorpid Sting too much in Classic. Again, Misdirection. Exposed weakness. Oh, interesting thing. So as a survival hunter, if you guys play hunters currently, the tier 2 armor bonus, if you have 8 out of 8 for a hunter, is called exposed weakness. And it only becomes really viable if you kind of have a good amount of hunters. But in TBC, it becomes like an actual debuff you can keep up as survival hunters. So your range criticals have a 100% chance to apply an exposed weakness effect to the target, increasing the attack power of all attackers against that target by 25% of your agility for 7 seconds. So there's kind of some parallels to what with Shadow Priests and their whole percentage of their int or damage going to assist the raid. You see a trend there at TBC, and I think
so much good synergy.
Yeah, let me pause here too. So what do you guys think about hunters in TBC? Would you guys have any?
So much better than Classic. Well, I think they just go one of the biggest changes, right, from being a lackluster, mediocre, DPS with a semi good rotation to a easy as fuck rotation with an insane amount of damage.
They don't even need gear.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of hunters. You're going to see a lot less warriors and a lot more hunters, I think, in TBC. You're going to see a lot of pretty good hunters in PvP as well. And overall, I think they're in a really good place in TBC. That's all I got for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they slap. I see it every day when I'm playing. They slap. I mean, it angers me. I'm half me's mad when I get in a group with one because I'm gonna lose DPS war, but the other half's like, yeah, hunters, get the big slappers going because it's ridiculous and they don't need the gear and it literally is one button.
I'm thinking on the pet side of things. On the pet side of things, there's some juicy pets. You get guys and some new pet abilities. So Orcbit mentioned already the Warp Stalkers. You can get a pet that has a blink. And I don't remember them being that viable. Basically, the pets you're going to see in PvP are either a Scorpid for the poison stacking or a Ravager. Ravagers are really solid in PvP. There's also some new abilities like Gore that Boars get. It's another focus thump type of thing. I think it might even stun or something. I have to go look it up.
Does the Ravager have speed increase, or how is that?
I'm kind of forgetting. Someone in the chat.
Like a proc. I think one of them has like a proc, right? Speed increase or some shit like that.
You also get spiders, which can web, right? In TBC, you can't tame spiders in vanilla. So there's some cool stuff to look forward to on the pet front. One thing, a common misconception is that you get exotic pets. You're able to tame devil swords and stuff in TBC. That was actually Wrath. So for those of you thinking you're gonna be able to go out to Angoro and pick up a King Crush or whatever, you gotta wait another X pack for that one.
Every hunter seems to be using that one like weird scorpid looking, like looks like a Syphilis bug.
Yeah, it's a Ravager. Yeah, Ravager.
And it pumps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those things. That's what everyone seems to be using.
Yeah, Ravager.
Yeah, that's the one with the attack speed, I think.
And there still is the dead zone. True. Someone said there's no dead zone. There is a dead zone still. The dead zone didn't go away till Kata.
Yep. And people using Wind Serpents, the only thing about Wind Serpent is it does lightning damage, so it pretty much will take up the Storm Strikes procs from the Shamans, so people Melderon's going to yell at you if you have a... you know the charges that it consumes of nature damage? Yeah, if you use that as a pet... It's
was he mean Storm Strike? Yeah.
So if you use that, your Shamans are going to tell you to fuck off and get another pet. But, yeah, because that's focus dump. But, yeah, what do you got? What else do you guys think about Hunters? So you think they're pretty strong in TBC?
Yeah, they're in a much better place than they were in vanilla.
Yeah, they're really strong. It evens out down the road, but they're. Start off,
rightfully
can't go wrong as a
right?
hunter.
If you think about it, in classic, right, Hunter is a pure DPS class. Like, it's not a hybrid, but it's still kind of regarded as a meh. We need one for Trank or some shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. And finally now it gets like it is a pure DPS class, and it gets its right due.
Yo, to be honest, I forgot about this talent too, man. Animal Handler. Did you guys forget about this? Increases your speed while mounted by 8%. Yo,
I didn't know that.
I forgot about that.
Paladin, man.
Oh,
Damn, built-in carrot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, the nice thing with Hunter is when you look at it for the first time, you're like, okay, it's kind of an easy ranged shooting class, but it's super deep. The pet system, it's complex, and it's a class that you can literally play for hours and hours and hours in solo content, just gathering the pets, learning about it. And that's something I really like about Hunters. The reason I wanted to play one in Classic, and the reason I still have this high on my list for TBC. So I really, really enjoy listening to you, Kargoz, about Hunters. It's super interesting for me personally.
Someone in chat made an extremely good point. If you are a hunter, you really need to know this. This is a massive, massive win for Hunters. Opovar, thank you very much for the 8 months on Twitch Prime, bro. That too. You should also know that Opovar was supported for 8 months. But the other thing I was going to say is that pets scale with you as a hunter. So in Classic WoW, your pet... the damage you do at week 1 when you're heading into Molten Core, your pet's not scaling anywhere from that point. Yeah, you can hit him with Jujus and Scrolls and stuff like that to try and get him up there, and he will scale in the sense that he'll benefit more from potential debuffs and stuff that you have up on the boss. But your pet is a static amount, right? And this is part of the reason why people say Hunters fall off in Classic, because your pet's not really scaling. In TBC, at some point, I don't know if it was like that at day 1 TBC or if that was a later down the line, but they made it so pets scale with your stats. Which is huge. Which is huge, right?
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot of new stuff for Hunters. Jeez.
A lot of new stuff for Hunters.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The traps in combat. The second you like get your hands on a hunter and you realize that you can just drop them whenever you feel like it. It feels so good, man. Like
the freedom in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's it for Hunter, though. We can move on to the next class. I'll pull up their tier sets real quick. If you guys have any questions about Hunter, I'm not exactly a big brain, but I'll do my best. Here's the Hunter. Okay, so this is my favorite Hunter set right here. The Hunters here on the second to the left, if you can see them here, and they pretty much have this brown guy at the top. And some people still use this as a transmog in retail today. They kind of like it. It's not my exact favorite. I think all the Hunter sets are really nice though, and my favorite is the eyeball one on an orc. When I first saw these in Shattra City, when I saw a Hunters with the eyeballs moving around, because those eyeballs will look around at stuff, right? Yeah. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, man. And it looks amazing. And another thing, as a Hunter in TBC, you still have to use ammo, right? They have a bow, legendary bow in TBC. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Sunwell bow.
Yeah.
No ammo. How flavorful. How... bursting
this is
with
why
rich, juicy flavors.
The old fucking shit works. It still has that awesome RPG element to it.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I 100% agree with you there. That bow is so cool looking. Really is.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
In general, just TBC loot. I know we can give Blizzard a lot of shit for like rehashing old vanilla sets and mobs in TBC, but they did a lot of new things that really look amazing. Like, look at the Warlocks, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, tier 4, 5, and 6 are the most popular tiers for transmogs in retail as well. All of them are. Because those are the first ones where they were animated ones, like the Warlock waves. Little voice.
And they're the best. Come on, they're the best sets in the game.
Yeah, imagine working at Blizzard right now in their art department or whatever, the guy who makes the new sets, and every expansion or every new content comes out, you just see these, fucking Power Ranger sets after each other. Everyone wants to.
Or tentacles, fucking tentacles.
Yeah, they just transmog it back to this shit, and you just sit there at work every day like, I can't come up with anything that's better than this.
More tentacles!
Dragons.
That is awesome, man. So a lot to look forward to as a Hunter, guys. Which of the three is your favorite here out of these Hunter sets? And then we'll wrap up and go to the next class.
the eyeball one for sure.
You think so?
I like tier 4, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
tier 5 looks good on Orc, though.
Yeah. I've used all of these as transmogs before. I
Yeah.
love the TBC armor. I don't know if you guys, any of you in the chat, feel the same way, but once I had my hands on these full sets from TBC, it kind of like checked something off long lost in my childhood that I wished I did. I wished I had the full set, and like going back and farming these up from Black Temple and from all the BC raids and getting the full set and having them as a complete transmog, I just never took them off. Like I was it. I was done with my character's looks. I was like, this is how I want my character to look, and that was pretty much it for me. But, okay, let us move on to the next one. We'll just go to the poll here and see what the second most voted one is. That
I think it was Rogue. I'm ready, baby.
Rogue. Lot to talk about on Rogue, guys. So here we go. We're going to pull up the Rogue talents. Defcamp, you want to lead us off with Rogue, man?
Yes. So, first off, let me talk about some of the major changes in Rogue. So, unfortunately, in PvE, combat swords is very similar to how it plays and to how it was in vanilla. Very, very similar. It is the top DPS for rogues in PvE, combat swords. PvP, I think, is where rogues really shine in TBC. Let me talk first about one of the best things ever is you no longer get out of fucking stealth when using sap. You don't even have to put points in it anymore, okay? So,
that's huge.
Yeah, that's huge, right? It was one of the most annoying things if you're a TBC player and you played in vanilla and TBC is like all improved sap does, or it's called dirty tricks. It increases just the range of your blind and sap. No longer will you get out of fucking stealth when using sap. So that's a huge change right there. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Another big one, of course, we all know Cloak of Shadows, right?
Ooh.
What does Cloak of Shadows do?
Ooh.
Cloak of Shadows removes all magical effects on you, whether it's dots, whether it's a fairy fire from a druid, removes all magical effects on you so that when you vanish or need to re-stealth, you can do it without having to worry about popping out. This is huge for rogues. This is one of their biggest detriments, and this is why I when I played on private servers, I played a dwarf, because it's almost like you had a Cloak of Shadows for diseases, poisons, and bleeds with Stone Form. So if you play dwarf, you get Stone Form and Cloak of Shadows, so you can literally do whatever you have anything on you, you can vanish without worrying. But it's just such a game changer for rogues. Another amazing thing for rogues in PvP. So let's talk about PvP first. I think because primarily that's the biggest difference, right? So number one, you're going to go, what most people do is a hemo spec, like hemo swords, right? And what that is, right? Hemo, it was an ability in Classic as well. It takes over your Sinister Strike or your main ability, right? That's your combo point generator, and it does a lot of damage, right? So you basically, use hemo to get combo points. Then you can either, eviscerate or, kidney. I'm sorry. Why am I? Not kidney shot. Kidney shot them. Like that right there. Stun lock rogues back in BC. Like you'll die in stun locks in vanilla too. But like I played a rogue in BC from most of BC, and one of the best things is being able to kill someone in a stun lock and they never get out of that stun lock. It's such an amazing feeling. It sucks being on the opposite end of it, absolutely. But it is one of the most amazing things to do when you just kill someone in a stun lock. It's just so much damage that you're able to put out. The other things that are really amazing, number one, I think like a lot of people will tell you like Shadow Step is amazing. So the very last talent point in the Subtlety tree is called Shadow Step. Oh yeah. And this is not just because it will take you to your target, but it does so many things, right? Because it take you out of the route wherever you're at. Like in terms of PvP, right? When you're on a target and you can literally Shadow Step kick the healer, who's 30 yards away from you, wherever the range is on it. Like being able to do that is absolutely amazing. Not only does it do that, but when you do it, okay, it increases your movement speed by 70% for 3 seconds, right? And the damage of your next ambush, backstab, or Garrote is also increased by 20%. So if you Shadow Step ambush or Shadow Step backstab, which most people are going to be swords spec. Shadow Step Garrote, it's all, and it's it added 20% bonus there as well.
The crazy thing too, I just realized, but just before we move on from that, is that prep actually resets Shadow Step too. It doesn't for cloak or anything like that. But I just scrolled over,
so any of your cooldowns, whether it's Invasion, Sprint, Vanish, Cold Blood, Shadow Step, and Premonition. And what Premonition does another thing as well. So you use it and it puts 2 combo points on your target. So say you want to open up on somebody, say it's a priest, whatever, and your cheap shot's going to give you, say 3 combo points, whatever. So you open up with you get that 2 combo points, then you open up with a cheap shot, boom, you always got 5 combo points on the target already right there. So it's huge to have that Premonition there to get those extra combo points if you need them. Really amazing. Obviously, you still have preparation like you did in BC, which is an amazing talent. But the other big change in TBC is cheat death. Okay, and cheat death is honestly one of the when I play 2v2 with a rogue, having that chance where this person, if they hit cheat death, they can cloak and vanish if they have to, and bring them back up to full. It's basically, you're cheating death. You literally are cheating death. It is such a strong talent. It is so powerful in a 2v2 environment. Rogues are all about control, okay? When you're playing with a rogue, if you're playing priest rogue or mage rogue, and even more intense control comp with 2v2, it's all about what you can do and to keep your player CC'd, keep them out of the fight, to be able to focus on one target and keep one player, controlled for that whole time. Rogues are amazing at that. Whether you shadow step kidney someone, whether you shadow step, getting a sap off before someone's in combat. Like, there's so many amazing things you can do as a rogue to keep players controlled. But seeing a rogue play at a high skill level, like we're talking about, reckless skill level, is one of the most amazing things you'll see. Just because the level of complexity and the level of small micromanaging when it comes to getting off that shadow step kick, getting off that shadow step gouge, getting off that shadow step kidney shot, or just being able to do that blind and re-stealth to get a sap off somebody as soon as they get out of combat. Like, these small things that you can do as a rogue to keep one player out of the fight so you can focus on the other one. Rogues are assassins in TBC. They are some of the most damage that you can get in whether it's a small period of time and control at the same time, right? So when you have a combo like we'll say rogue mage, right? So you have someone who their DRs are not shared. So you have a sheep, you have stuns, you have the silences, you have the kicks, you have a great combination there for control. You have a great combination there for survivability because of ice block, because of cheat death. Right, so that cheat death, I think, is something that a lot of people see, and they're like, okay, this is pretty cool, but what's the deal with it? I'm still going to be at whatever, like 1% health. But that small opportunity to be able to re-stealth and recover and heal and bandage, whatever you can do, is like you can't put a value on that. It's so fucking strong.
It's huge.
So
it's
strong.
Huge. One thing I also wanted to point out real quick is that combo points don't fall off in TBC, which
is so
huge
from target to target, that is something that even if you're something that's so annoying in vanilla, even if you go and you're fighting someone and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go loot this, you just lost your combo points. As soon as you click off that target, you lose your combo points.
Gone, baby.
Right? No longer does that happen in TBC, which is honestly very, very powerful and very good for the rogue. So.
What do you think about rogues in PvE though, Crixx? Like in your raid, do you have a couple rogues in there? Like people will say that rogues are terrible in PvE. You'll just hear this run around. Whether they are or not is up to debate or whatever. But I'm curious, from a fresh on the ground, boots on the ground perspective, Crixx, do you see rogues? How are they doing in the raids right now?
Rogues. So in raids, rogues they're about the same as you see, a little less than they are in classic, but they don't get up there that much, but. The utility, the fact that you use so many different classes, their kicks are major.
Yes.
Are they still the top melee DPS though?
Yes.
Yes, they are top melee.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
really?
Yeah, in TBC there's top melee. Yeah.
So what is all this rogue hate on them? People are hating on them so hard.
That's why I was so surprised when you said that. I was like, what?
Because so many other classes, I think, really shine in TBC. And
casters scale way better than melee.
Yeah. And here's the thing: I think rogues kind of stay the same. Like, rogues are very similar in vanilla and TBC in PvE. Okay, you're literally your
same thing.
Your talents, like you get a couple out of things like surprise attacks. it's not even like your finishing moves can't be dodged, and the damage dealt by your signature strike back tab is increased. Like, it's not a big change at all. Your literal everything you do is the same. You know, slice and dice, 5 points slice and dice. Only thing that's different is the slice and dice moves from assassination to combat. You get a couple different things in combat that add to it. Assassination, you go down to vile poisons, right? Increases the damage done. You get your malice, you get your lethality, you get all that your points there. Of course, you don't put improved eviscerate. You really never get to eviscerate. If you actually have a chance to use combo points that aren't for slice and dice, which is rare, like you always want to keep up slice and dice. So if you do, just you can use rupture, right? Because you have those, you have more debuff slots, so you can go ahead and put a rupture on the boss, and then go ahead and keep up slice and dice. But that is literally your rotation. 5 points slice and dice, 5 points rupture if you can, 5 points slice and dice. That's it. That is your rotation as a rogue. It's not very different, pretty much the same as it was in Classic. I think where rogues really shine in TBC is in PvP, right? And you have so many amazing abilities. Like, rogues are always about control. Rogues are always about, being able to get in there, kill someone, get back out. Like, it's like, I love the playstyle of them. And in TBC, they just have so much, I think, added a tool set, like, just small things. Like, just like I said, that ability to sap someone and stay in stealth, right? Like, that little bit right there. If you get a sap off in the beginning of a fight where someone, like, and a lot of times if you're going against a rogue, someone's a rogue, you want to get in combat as soon as possible because you don't want to get that sap off when you're going into an environment where you're in or something like that. Mm-hmm. So if someone gets that sap off in the beginning, like if you're playing a really good rogue, they're going to try to get you out of combat for just a second, whatever, and get that sap off, or get that gouge or get that blind. It's all about that. You only need a short window. If you can get the short window where you can, you have someone down to half health, give them a full 5-point kidney on that target on the healer. You can in that time shadow step over to the other player and kill them.
So much
depending
control.
on your comp, depending on what's going on.
Rogue with full cooldowns are probably the best duelers too in TBC. It is so
Rogue in
rough.
PvP is I can attest to this. Rogue is the one class that I will purposely go out of my way to try to 1v1 and lose every time. Mm-hmm. Like, they're the scariest fucking things in the world. I will be completely PvP geared out in SLSL and will fight 5-minute fights with them and end up losing. Yep. And it's the most fun. And the worst part is all their cooldowns are short cooldowns.
Yeah.
They're not 5-10 minute cooldowns. You're talking about 30 seconds.
Cloak is 3 minutes though, right? Isn't it? Or is it 2 minutes?
Cloak is 3 minutes.
Cloak is 3
Cloak
minutes.
is 3 minutes.
Double it with prep, right?
No, you can't. Prep doesn't work on Cloak, I'm pretty sure. Prep
does not work on Cloak.
That'd be so fucking
It's still, what, 7 seconds? 8 seconds? How long does it last?
No, Cloak is...
for Cloak?
Cloak is like 3 seconds, right? Isn't it? Or...
Cloak lasts more than 3 seconds. Yeah, I think it's
7 or something.
Yeah, it's about 7. That sounds about right. Yeah.
So if you're a warlock...
It's long. And coming from a warlock, like, it's just... I'm burnt. It fades all black, and when I see that happen, I'm just like, oh, well, I'm just going to stay here.
Exactly. Just what Crixx said. So when I played a priest as well, so I played a priest in TBC a lot as well. So you see that rogue go into Cloak, and you're just like, okay, fuck. Like, if you're a caster, you're just, oh, okay, I'm not going to, like, can't do shit to this guy right now. Can't do a fucking thing, okay? Yeah. And so you're it's like when a paladin bubbles in a way, right? Paladin bubbles, okay, my focus has to go off this person now.
That's insane.
But it's not like they're immune to healing. No, they can still receive healing. It's just magical effects that are detrimental to them, right? So, you can cloak offensively, you can cloak defensively. Whether you're fighting a melee, you have your stuns in order to stop DPS. I think in a 2v2 environment, in a 3v3 environment, right? Like rogues, if you have a good rogue, I love playing rogue in TBC, and it's been a long time since I've done it. So, excuse me, like a lot of my memory is, it's from a long fucking time ago. But it is one of the most fun and engaging things you can do is to play a rogue in an arena match, and at a high level, right, where you're constantly thinking about what you can do this next second, what you can do, looking at your DRs, looking at what abilities you can use. A good rogue is one of the most amazing things to watch in an arena setting. It's so
and they move
fucking
faster
awesome.
in stealth. They're not all super slow.
Exactly.
And they're stealthed up too. And like thinking of heroics, after doing the heroics, when you do your attunements, they're hard to do, man. And you need a rogue with you. The fact that they can sap and not break stealth and then run back to you, and then you can pull is just absolutely
huge. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think, Dunedain, about rogues, man? Would you never? I feel like that's the class you've always not liked the most. I'm kind of right there, yeah.
However, I played an alt now in vanilla, and I kind of like leveling it because it's somewhat of a challenge, unless many of the other classes. But I think rogues are for PvP. I mean PvE at least in that position that mages are. They have a very good toolkit in vanilla, so they didn't need to change it much for TBC, and I feel they kind of have the same gameplay, and that's the reason. They were already a very good class was designed very well. But I heard you guys say that they don't scale very well with gear, but they do have warglaives though. So if you get those,
yeah.
That's a major draw, right?
Yeah.
Like if you get double warglaives as a rogue, guys, what do you think in the chat? I don't even know. Like, are you actually top DPS?
That's
like,
the dream.
Are you a monster masher? Are you
Your DPS is going to go up significantly.
You're almost if you had double.
Yeah, don't think that we're saying like
they're still the number one melee DPS. Yeah,
exactly. And one more thing is this, like, so in a PvE environment or in a PvP environment, right? You have obviously like so many benefits for each class, right? For whether it's but rogues in a PvE environment, like they're going to there's classes that do more damage. There are classes, but like I think in TBC, it's very nice to have. You have 25 spots, right, to balance out the raid as much as you can. You really do get benefits, for each class, whether it's one DPS warrior or you have two rogues, right? You have these. You still get rogues benefiting from win free, right? You still have on the horde side, a lot of damage through that. You still have. I think TBC is a nice way where you can kind of bring everyone to the party, and like everyone has their place. You know what I mean? Like Oh, and one other thing, they get mutilate in the assassination tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun, but it is, in my opinion, it is still not as much damage. It's not your best bet for PvE is combat swords. 100%. Daggers is good, but combat swords is the king. It reigns supreme in TBC. I'm pretty sure through all of TBC, combat swords is the spec. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Is that spec dead for TBC then? You want to
There's some
min-max
stuff
at
to love.
least.
There's some
Not
stuff to
dead.
love.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's dead, but
what they did is they shifted over some of the talents from subtlety and stuff that didn't make sense, like backstab related talents and stuff like that, and they put it all into assassination. So there's now, before, if you're trying to go some kind of like, especially while leveling, if you're trying to go daggers, you'd have to splash around into all three trees getting different things. They made it so it's more like cohesive towards that backstab win condition and stuff like that. Everything is all within the same tree. I know that's really from a leveling perspective, but when Avic and I leveled to 70 recently, he leveled his assassination. I was druid, and it was insane. Like, we were one-shotting stuff like the whole way up. It was crazy. But Orcbit, man, do you have experience playing rogues or like playing against them maybe as a shaman too? How do you feel about rogues in TBC, my man?
I mean, I think a lot of the stuff has already been said, right? Like, they are beautiful to watch when executed proper. Like, it's just the amount of control, double blinds, double stuns, cloak. It's just, they're everywhere, and I can't wait to see. Like, with Classic, we've already seen, some people pull off some amazing things, and it's just the same. I'm just as excited for TBC to see some amazing plays and just overall, because people have improved so much. Like, I see this every day if I go solo queue battlegrounds, right? And you see how much people have improved. It's still a puck, right? So you mostly lose to premates, but people are getting way better at the game. They are way better at the game.
Yeah.
Personally, I haven't had much experience playing endgame rogue. I had a twink in TBC. Two of my friends played rogue, so three is the crowd, right? But it's a really cool class, and it just gets better in TBC. It doesn't get like a lot of crazy additions that completely 180s the class, like you guys said, right? It's solid from the get-go. It's just the good old TBC ice cream, right? Like, just scoops on top of that vanilla, right? It's just.
What do you think the top three most played classes in TBC? This is a question for the chat too are going to be, Orcbit. Top
the
three.
Most played?
Yeah, most played classes, just most popular, most people playing them.
I think we'll be in for a surprise, but I'll go out on a limb now, and I'll say Paladin's going to be one of them.
Yeah, I agree.
I really think it is. That's going to excel.
Blood.
Paladins, yeah, exactly.
But also Alliance side.
Yeah. So Paladin, I think, is going to be one of them. Rogue for sure. And
Yeah.
Mage.
I think Druid's not going to be one of the most played, but I think Druid's going to have one of the biggest rises from
That is
Increase.
classic to TBC.
Hunter.
just the sheer amount of new spells added to the game and abilities is going to change up things a bit, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to not seeing 31 warriors in my AV.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely don't see a lot of warriors anymore. I would definitely say Paladin, Hunter, Rogues, a lot of Warlocks. If I'm going on Peace server basis, there's a shit ton of Paladins, Warlocks, and Hunters and Rogues everywhere. They're everywhere you find them.
Because many people in Classic play Mage, because in my opinion, they don't really gain that much in TBC.
They don't.
I mean,
one
they have
class that
the
doesn't gain a lot.
elemental, which is
They're
pretty
trash
cool.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Trash. I wouldn't say trash though, but
I hate mages.
you do.
Some of the
He's a
most
warlock. He's a warlock,
I'm on
bro.
a personal level with mages.
Yeah, he's the anti-North.
He's the anti.
Yeah.
I don't like mages, but they're not
But
really
dude,
that good
isn't-
to brag about anyway.
Let's take a look at their armor sets.
Kind
real
of
quick.
isn't the Warlock kind of the classic mage in TBC? What do you
Yes,
call
they
it?
are. They absolutely. They
Instead of Shadow Bowl, it's just Frostbowl, and
It's all Shadow Bolt.
Corruption,
You
Blizzard.
start Shadow Bolt. There's a nice little Fire Destro build you can go to that I don't know was talked about or not.
Oh,
but-
you can
spell
Shadow Fury
spell
as well,
steal's
right?
so fucking good. Real quick though, like when I and Melder, I know Melder remembers this back in the day, but like some of the most fun I had in TBC before I started really getting heavy in my priest was playing Rogue Mage 2v2. And Melder, we did some Rogue Mage stuff back too, but Rogue Mage is just it's you gotta play. If you've never done it, it's literally one of the most fun things you can ever do. Spell steal.
Yep.
God,
Played that to
it's
2K
amazing.
back in the day in TBC, man, with my roommate.
On my priest, not on my rogue. On
Oh,
my
it
rogue,
wasn't
on my
Mage.
rogue, I got what almost 2.2, I think though. But
Nice.
yeah.
Facing that Shaman team, spell stealing that Bloodlust.
Oh, dude.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Oh, Spell Steal is super juicy and
Spell Steal's amazing,
for mages. Talking about awesome stuff they get. We'll be going into that real soon. But let's take a look at these rogue armor sets. To me, right off the bat, we got 4, 5, and 6. 4 looks like a clown suit. 5 is serviceable. 6 looks dope. I don't know. What
5 is the best set in the game. You kidding me?
5 is like solid Punisher outfit.
Yeah.
Really? Sell
Tier
me on
5 is my favorite class in all of my favorite set in all of WoW.
I mean,
absolutely.
This purple eye thing. Dude?
What is your Rogue 5?
Rogue 5.
This is Rogue
Number
5.
one.
Rogue 4 and 5, yeah. 5's more.
Dude, you gotta look closer at the. It's a skull, dude.
It's a skull.
Yeah, it's like a Punisher
It's
mask.
kind of like Punisher mask.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I mean,
Tier
come
5
on, look at the
priest, Tier
Paladin.
5
It's literally
rogue.
a purple Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Isn't that what they called it? Power Ranger back in the day?
Yeah,
Purple Power Ranger. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you get a
Purple-
dope tier 6 though as a Paladin.
Yes. Yeah.
and if you want to be Purple Power Ranger, then I guess Paladin is the only choice. If you want to look
That's
like a dark person like the rogue, you can all rogue sets look like that. The Purple Paladin set at least is unique. So if anything, that's a plus, right?
Yeah.
That Rogue T5 looks so dope with the Punisher mask.
You like it
Yeah.
too, huh?
Best.
Man,
I guess.
everybody likes
Oh, yeah,
it.
like-
Honestly, the other two
Like
tiers
this
look
mask.
like shit.
No way, you don't like tier 6, dude? Oh, tier 6.
What is that? It looks like he's like.
Just the textures, bro. You look like a Chad, man. Like imagine like because one thing I like about it is that you're a rogue, right? So you're like basically a soy boy if you're a rogue. But since you have this
What
armor
is up with that
and
collar?
you have this big
Soy
collar
boy
with
if you're a
spikes on
rogue?
it.
What?
Yeah, you're a soy boy. You're like you're wearing leather armor. You're stealthing through the shot. You're picking people's pockets. You're stabbing in the
Get
kidneys.
out of here, bro.
You're not like a big
So,
Chad warrior. Like,
Rogue is the number 1 alpha. I know what you're talking about.
no way.
No, Warrior's number
Bro,
1 alpha.
Rogue is
TBC,
putting poison
not
in your
TBC. Get the fuck
Rogue is
outta here.
roofing your drink, man. When you're not looking, man. Like.
No, that's a paladin.
But one thing I like about the tier 6 rogue though is you look thick. Like you got this nice collar with spikes on it. Like if you see like a rogue in that, it balances them off. They
I
don't
think
look-
the PvP set, the color of the PvP set, the Vengeful Gladiator looks better than the tier 6.
Okay, you're not a fan of tier 6. Okay.
I know it's not bad. I think the recolor for the PvP looks
The
better.
tier 6 Rogue is lame. What is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tier 5 is
Outside of Paladin, Tier 6 is actually pretty shit.
I was just gonna say that.
come on,
I like the Warlock wings. The Warlock is dope because of the wings only.
Warlock's Tier 5.
Maybe if he was undead, he'd look cooler, but he just looks like a
I like
weird,
Shaman Tier 6 too.
Like he's wearing some gold shire pants with some spiked shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Orcbit, what's your favorite Shaman in TBC? Is it Tier 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Thank you, sir.
I still have somewhere on my hard drives stored away my very old, the forum, whatever signature you could have. I had my shaman in Tier 5 in what's the sunny place called? Nagrand. Yeah, a picture of that. I was so proud taking that picture in the Grand with my Tier 5, looking dope as fuck, and putting that in my.
Where's the shaman ones at?
Forum signature.
Yo,
it's the Drano one.
I need some TBC Big Brain to tell me if you get to wear the full sets in TBC, or is it still a mix match hodgepodge wearing like a?
It's a mixed match.
It is.
Depends. Yeah.
Yeah, you want mixed match. Starting with T4, T5, you're mixed match.
So in Classic WoW, as a hunter, you get to wear your full sets if you can get them all, which is nice. I don't know if that continues in the TBC. You have to look, but you're saying it's kind of a mixed match though. Okay.
I mean, for Warlocks, it is. You're not going all T4. You know what I mean?
You're still early though, right? You're still early. I mean, if you had
we're in
full,
T5.
your whole tier.
Yeah, people.
Yeah.
People are getting
So the
butthurt.
thing
I
about
forgot to mention Tier 6 Warrior. I'm sorry. Tier 6 Warrior is the best warrior tier in the entire game. I'm sorry. I totally missed that.
5 warriors.
Tier 6. Oh, Tier.
Oh,
Look at Tier
dude,
6 Priest. We talked about
yeah.
Tier 6 Priest with an undead with those like angel.
Oh, it looks
minded
amazing. It
shoulders.
does. I love Tier 6
You guys
Priest
are
as well.
tripping.
You don't like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Tier
Tier
6
6
Lock
Warrior
and
is
Warrior.
Discipline
Tier 6
priest.
Warrior is amazing. Tier 6 Warrior is amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Tier
Especially
6
with
Warrior,
Warlock.
especially with the fucking
Warlock
Borg of
of
Azeroth.
Azeroth, yeah.
Dude, because
yeah,
the spikes
yeah.
match the shoulders.
Except the boots
that's
though.
true. I
The
didn't
boots
think
and the
that.
belt
Yeah, I didn't
are
think of that.
Yes, the boots
the
do not
boots
match.
and
I
the
know.
belt.
Yeah.
If you look at it, have
And
hints.
there are better
Where?
boots.
Which one? The
Tier
warrior one?
6
Tier 6
Warrior
Warrior.
have, if you look at the belt and the boots, they have hints of blue, and it looks omega scuffed. But you can actually get the right pieces that are color coordinated. But
Yeah.
they,
Oh, really?
but they drop from different places. Actually, it's not even in BT, right? You have to get them somewhere else, or I forgot how
I
you
know the
get them.
boots were from BT. I think
Okay.
the boots are from BT.
Maybe
I'm pretty
it is,
sure.
yeah. You
Yeah.
got-
I think the best thing about the tier sets in TBC is some off pieces are better, but versus vanilla, where you would only have, if you're aiming for the best sets, you will never get them because everyone
Right,
wants them.
right.
Here you can get a tier set. Eventually, everyone can easily get a tier set, and you can replace those pieces slowly with the best pieces. I think that's way better.
Yeah, and that's the
I
best
think-
part is if you're going full tier set, you're not losing a shit ton of damage rather than min-maxing. Versus classic, if you're a hunter and you're wearing all T2 or garbage or whatever, it's not like that. You're not losing almost any damage if you're.
Yeah, dude, Mage Tier 6 looks like it's getting a signal from Mars. That thing on his head. The fuck is
That is
It's
true.
so
It looks
lame.
kind of phallic
Mage tier is
too.
garbage.
Yeah, it does look kind of phallic. Yeah, it does.
Like a giant.
Yeah.
I
friggin'
actually,
shell,
Mage tier is garbage.
I actually like Mage Tier 5, honestly.
It's so
For Fire
vanilla though.
Mage. For Fire Mage.
I
Imagine
feel
your
like
Fire
the
Mage.
PvP set is blue, right? The PvP set one is blue, I think. I remember.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I loved that when I was playing with the Mage. He was playing on the. It actually looked really good on the Journey. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Journey, but yeah, I remember I was in Tier 5, Merc Glad, and he was in his Tier 5. It was pretty fucking awesome, yeah.
All right, let's move on to Mage, guys. Last class. We've actually somehow touched on all of these to some capacity, man. We're moving on to the Mage,
Hold on,
guys.
this is
The
you're
last
right.
and specifically worst.
We're gonna ask
I
Crixx
don't
to
know if
answer
Mage-
everything in the shill for Mages. So
Oh,
hard now.
man.
Meldron, do you know something about Mage, man? Meldron?
All I know is that I did play Mage in TBC, but you get. I won't go through the towns because I really don't know them. It's been 12 years since I played a Mage in TBC. But what I can tell you is Frost is super cool because you get the you can summon
Oh yeah.
the water elemental, which
Elemental.
is super cool.
Juicy.
It's very, very nice. Is this when Mirror Image came out?
No.
No.
One thing I just realized about the water elemental though, because I actually played a mage in TBC as well. Like I hit 2K on Rogue Mage like before. Is the elemental only lasts for 45 seconds? So I remember distinctly this feeling, being a mage and like kind of wishing I was a pet class, and kind of like pretending I was a pet class because I have a water elemental now. But I forgot what the cooldown is on it because it's not 100% uptime, right? Or
Can you cold snap elemental?
I don't think you can cold snap it. I think it's one of the things that you can't cold snap. Just kind of like same with the rogue thing, not being able to bring close.
And it has its own Frost Nova, which is super cool.
So good, yeah.
That you can actually
time your fire. Mages
determine
are
where
fire
you
though
put it.
starting out, so they're not even frost anyway.
And that's when you get Ice Lance, right? Ice Lance,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep. Ice Lance, that's huge.
Ice Lance, dude, Shatter procs are fucking
man.
But so you can actually pick move where you put the Frost Nova for your Water Elemental, which is really strong. It's not just where your elemental.
You set up a Shatter. Basically, you wind up a Frostbolt, and then right as it's about to connect, to guarantee the Shatter, right as it's about to hit them, you drop the Nova. So because it's gonna break if you put it too far in advance, right? So it's just this instant Shatter. Sorry, Maldoron, but what were you saying, Maldoron?
No, it's fine. I'm just saying. I've been saying Frost Mage doesn't really change much, honestly, from vanilla. Outside of the elemental.
Ice Lance.
And Ice Lance.
Ice Lance is cool. That's definitely good. Oh,
What about Dragon
Veins?
Breath or whatever it's called?
Dude, that sound that makes when you fucking pop it, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. But I mean, mages. I feel like mages are good in everything they do, and it's like they're the best farm. Like as far as farming is concerned, and as far as utility. I mean, I don't know.
We all know the best addition was Table of Refreshments.
Dude, yeah, you get table. That's right, you get table now.
And I'm not memeing or anything, but you bring one mage to raid. If you want to be nice, you can bring two, and you're only bringing them for AI and food. That's the only reason they're in there.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of food, though, you get the buffet. The buffet, guys.
Yeah.
The all-you-can-eat buffet for free.
It's the nicest thing ever.
Yeah.
You can get that double shatter crits too with with Ice Lance. I believe the batching will allow that, if I remember correctly. You can get a Frostbolt Ice Lance out of a shatter. Maybe I'm mistaken.
It should, yeah.
Yeah.
One of those who dislike the pet for Frost. I never liked it.
But I played Frost all through. I played pretty much Frost all through. So I mean, you get what's it? Dragon's Breath is the number one talent in Fire? Is it 41 point talent?
It's the CC thing.
You can. It's a frontal cone CC.
Yeah, you can actually spin around.
About mages is you can go. You use all three specs. Like the meta for it is like Frost T4, and then go Arcane T5, then Fire T6.
Yeah, and Arcane.
So it's kind of cool that you can go through all the specs and switch it up, which is kind of cool.
I think you need 2 out of 5, T5 before you can go.
Yeah,
Arcane.
2 T5 to go Arcane.
Yeah.
What are the universal?
You have the early gem intellect for it.
What are the new universal talents? I have spells from Mage. I can't even
Arcane
remember.
Blast or.
Everyone gets Arcane Blast. Is that?
Wait, is that
Arcane Missiles?
Arcane Wall.
No. I'm talking about every Mage gets regardless of talents.
Yeah.
What are the new? Does anyone know?
Spell Steal?
Spell Steal, yep.
Spell Steal.
Is Frost Firebolt? Is Frost Firebolt something you got?
That's Wrath. That was Wrath.
Wrath?
Don't you get invisibility?
Yes, invisibility.
Invis is amazing, yeah.
Great for farming.
Yeah. Is Arcane
and for
Blast
obvious reasons.
I think it's a talent. Everyone gets Arcane Blast, right?
Oh yeah, everybody gets Arcane Blast, right?
Yeah.
Don't you just spam it though? That's the coolest thing about it. Are you guys talking about it?
Yeah. And then it gets is in TBC when they got the ability to increase damage and mana cost.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
but no barrage yet, right? No barrage yet.
No, that's in Wrath.
Right. Yeah.
So I heard this from North apparently during Tier 5 in particular. Again, this is just total regurgitation of what he told me. I thought it was interesting. Tier 5 Mage, if you stack full int and you go just every possible way, all gems, enchants, everything full int, and you go Arcane, you can apparently out DPS everybody with Arcane Blast spam, specifically in that tier. I don't know exactly why about that tier, but the thing about Arcane Blast is it keeps getting more and more expensive, and it keeps doing more and more damage. So if you go full, it starts costing you an obscene amount of mana when you start spamming Arcane Blast over and over again, right? But if you probably time it right and go full int, you can do massive damage. This is what I hear. But
I don't know. They're the best. Yeah. Mages are the best. Mages are the best that a mage can be in T4, and as soon as you get in T5, they fall way behind warlocks, and they don't scale as good. They don't have a lot of help with anything.
I've officially exhausted all my knowledge of Mage and TBC, so I can't help any further. But
nice.
Dragon's Breath, bro. Dragon's Breath is pretty sick.
Oh yeah. Dragon's Breath.
Yeah.
That's the incapacitate, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the big animated head.
Oh,
it's fucking awesome.
Sick, actually. Yeah. Dude, a lot of this stuff is in retail, right? Looking at it around, this is what I'm saying. The retail people will actually feel somewhat, probably a little bit more, a little comfortable in TBC. It'll be reminiscent of the retail a little bit more so that they'll feel. Yeah.
I think it's really huge, dude. So many of my friends, they don't like vanilla PvP. It's too clunky for them. Even playing a druid and switching forms, they just can't fucking take it. And I think, as we talked about earlier, TBC adds more of that action per minute without being too much, and it just makes it a whole, a bit more smooth and but still feels impactful. Your spells still matter, but we have so many new spells. It just feels really smooth now.
Yeah. They also get molten armor too, don't they?
Yeah, molten armor. Yep, I forgot what it does.
So it's 3%. Is that 3% crit?
It's only 3% crit. That's not a lot.
Yeah,
because
3%
in comparison to like a warlock or anybody else who gets 130 spell power flat with their armors. They get 3% crit. So instead of us getting like 10% crit, they get 3% crit.
Lulian Palade, thank you very much. He says the 2-piece tier 5 makes Arcane Blast do 20% extra damage. That's pretty spicy. So I mean, it's possible. I feel like North kind of like did that at some point or something. Like you start doing this, you just hemorrhage massive amounts of mana, but you spam Arcane Blast. One thing that you also hear as a little nugget tossed around is that you can raid as any spec as a mage serviceably. Now, what does that really mean? I don't really know. Does that mean you could just do passable DPS or like that's interesting though. Blazing Speed, another really cool talent. They have this in retail, I'm pretty sure. When you get a 10% chance when you get hit by a melee or range attack to dispel all your movement impairing speeds and effects, and you have like a sprint, and you just running around like crazy doing Dragon Breath and instants and stuff like that.
The Elemental Mage really shines with all this stuff.
Absolutely. Did you ever play a mage? I feel like you might have played a mage before, Orcbit.
Yeah, I played Mage on TBC Pride server.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I love it, but it won't never take the Shaman love, to be honest. Like, the thing with the pure classes is, I sometimes just need to do something that's a little bit off of what I'm doing normally, and hybrid classes just provide that very well. But I do love mages. Like, they feel like the whole combo with the pet and stuff in TBC might not seem as much in a big change, but it does give you something to think out of the box. Like the whole cast your spell and then put down your AoE is not really something, or your Nova is not really something people can do anything against.
Yeah. One sick ability.
I think everyone should have a mage.
Did they add in TBC the ability, or remove the ability, I should say, to double block? Like, do you get the debuff now? I can't remember.
Oh, I think you can
I'm not sure.
Though. You're talking about that little black hand debuff.
Re something. I can't remember. Like when you bubble and
it's kind of like Paladins,
yeah. I can't remember what it's called.
But
I can't remember if it was in TPC though. It's been a long while. Like last time I played this was on Archangel. If that server says anything to you guys.
Whoa.
Damn.
mine was Warmane for TBC. Well, unless I played a little.
Oh yeah, Warmane too, but
actual TBC actually. That's a cool thing with TBC, isn't it? It's so much less theory crafted.
Hypothermia, that's what it's called.
Looking at Arcane, bro, out of all these trees, I'm not gonna lie, the one that calls out to me and touches me deep down is Arcane. It looks so like
touches you. Yeah.
It's just cool, bro. Like, look at this. Mind Mastery increases spell damage by up to 5% of your total intellect. So they're building this kind of world where you just stack into like crazy because you're spamming Arcane Blast. So your spells are super powerful, but they're more expensive than any other class in the game. And then you also have slow, dude. Now, slow, I remember getting owned by slow back in the day. This shit is crippling when you have slow on you. So it reduces your movement speed by 50% and increases the time between ranged attacks and casting speed, most importantly, by 50%. Slow can only affect one target at a time, and there's no cooldown on it, right? So you could just spam slow. Yeah, you're dispelling it, but you could also just keep spamming it on him. What do you...
improved Curse of Tongues, and even more fucked. It's like Curse of Tongues and... and what's the other one called? Exhaustion at the same time.
Yeah, Priest can just spell it.
But yeah, that's true. But you can reapply it though. You can reapply it.
It's just dispel it again.
You just dispel it. You just dispel it again.
Can't wait for Mass Dispel, guys.
Oh, dude, Mass Dispel. Fuck Paladins. God, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, and you just get them out of their ice block. Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Fuck Paladins bubble.
Yeah.
As if they weren't already bad. Now you're gonna take their bubble from them.
No shattering throw though. That's
take everything from them.
Yeah. I want to play Paladin in PC.
Dude, the team is good.
What classes are you guys playing in PC? I'm playing number 1. My main, of course, is going to be Priest. I'm tied about my number 2 if it's going to be a Paladin or a Rogue. Though I really want to tank as an AoE Paladin. I really want to do Shotgun, and I really want to do Ret Shaman 2v2s as well, because I think I love Ret Shaman 2v2s.
Are you going to play as the Ret or the Shaman?
The Ret.
Oh, because I thought you were a Shaman.
Balduran's going to be the Shaman. Well, I have my Shaman.
How do you think I feel having to do a 2v2 team with the Paladin?
Oh, I showed Balduran what Ret Resto's capable of. It's absolutely...
It is really good, but I just will be like, fuck the whole time, like, god damn it.
Yeah, you can do a nice 3 team with Resto. Have Defcamp go Shadow Priest, you go Resto, and I'll go Warlock. Shadow play.
There you go. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
I'll
good
play
one.
Shadow in the arena.
Right
Yeah.
there.
That's nasty too.
God, I know y'all ready for Bloodlust and Heroism, man. I know that's
That's
just
so nice.
so spicy every arena game. That's good.
Just stack your raid and switch them shamans out of the top group.
Not just that, but also remember leatherworking drums.
Yep. Drums of War.
True.
Yep.
But no, it's like it's like a ghetto Bloodlust, so it's not as much though, right? Or is it?
Fair. I mean, what is like 5% less?
It's different. It has a
5%
different
less or
effect.
something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But probably
They have different drums though, right? Don't they have like 5 different drums or something?
There's different effects for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what we are seeing in Classic with engineering is kind of going to be with leatherworking in TBC.
Mandatory.
Yeah, we had. I remember in my old guild, at least on private servers, everyone had, or maybe not everyone, most people like nowadays with engineering had it just for drums to pop.
Yep.
It's a guild criteria in our guild right now. Is
And
drums.
engineering gets really nerfed in BC.
Hugely, yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of a
take
bummer.
away. Yeah, they take away all the things that made you able to kind of develop your own class. They took that out, and I think they put it in the classes themselves, right? So it's again why vanilla is my favorite game and TBC is my favorite expansion. There's just it goes both ways
God,
sometimes.
TBC did a great job of these kind of talents down deep that are next to some of the big ticket ones. So they're all so fun though, man. Like
That's why it's so good. Every class too, not just mages. Every class has those side talents that are just like, okay.
They finally all are able to get the fucking hit they need. They're actually able to work the classes. The melee hit, the spell hit, all that stuff you can actually get now.
Now you start seeing haste and stuff like that, which is pretty.
what a weird
lovely.
talent on Arcane. Reduces all damage taken by 4%. That's it. That's all. 2 points, you just get 4% less damage.
Well, there's a lot of there's
Pyro.
talents too, Kargoz, and a lot of trees. Like you'll see priest. There's resilience talents in priest and holy. So you see a lot of like anti damage or anti AOE or resilience types talents in a lot of trees
Which is
now in
huge.
TBC. Yeah.
Huge for PvP.
Yep.
And aren't mages
The whole
PvP
introduction
on
of
Pyro anyway?
resilience is,
So they are
still
arcane for
huge.
PvP, I think.
Well, for PvP, you can go Arcane, but I think that you most people are Frost, right?
Are they?
In PvP.
Okay.
In PvP, yeah.
in PvP.
So I've seen some people play arcane in PvP, mostly in B, but it can be fun. Yeah.
I feel like in 5s or something like that, you can get away with weird shit. You can probably play Arcane.
I've seen fire mage in fives. Yeah. People doing 5 mages, stuff like that.
Fives are gonna be fun. though.
Yeah.
Kargoz, the real question is, are you going to join me in the Warlock side, or
Yeah,
are
I'm
you
going
going
Warlock,
Druid?
bro. I'm going Warlock.
You're not doing Hunter.
Warlock?
Okay, yeah.
Because I already have the
Hunter?
Warlock that I'm building up right now with you
He's
guys.
not really a
Right,
hunter.
right.
He's a
Yes.
Warlock, guys. He's the hunter what days are over with.
Hunter's
Yeah, I
so
think so.
sick too, though. But I think is I have a Warlock that I'm raiding with Defcamp Meltdown right now. And the raid, we're gonna go all the way through Nax and stuff. So like to abandon it after all that would feel rough,
That's my thought with the shaman
You're
too.
going to like Warlocks
to hype up the mage.
15,000 million times better than what you think you're going to like it in TBC.
Yeah,
That full in-game Warlock, you're going to fucking love it. And you PvP all the time? Bro. It's fucking
Yeah,
game over.
I flirted with switching to warrior for TBC because I miss tanking a lot, but I'm not doing that.
Dude,
Yeah.
one word or two, I actually don't know. Spell reflect.
Yeah, dude, spell reflect's amazing, dude.
On
Yeah.
warrior, making them plays, dude.
I think you should stick with shaman because it's
Oh,
one
yeah.
extension where shamans actually aren't outclassed by paladins.
Yeah,
So.
and you are a
yeah.
shaman. It'd be weird seeing any of it, like Defcam, it'd be weird seeing him
right,
play
though.
anything but a mage. I mean, a priest. Weird to
Yeah.
see Mailed around not doing anything. Can't see Orcbit without being a shaman now, Can't see
Yeah.
Dunedain play anything but a paladin.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's got their thing.
I can
I
see
just
Defcam
Been
as a night
tanking a
elf
lot,
hunter.
man. Yeah.
I'm
For
female
that
night
elf
hunter.
hunter.
Yeah, female
Priest
night elf
until
hunter is
she-
Defcamp. Yeah.
Kargoz play hunter though.
Wait,
Yeah, I
what'd you
feel-
say, Kargoz?
I've said before on stream that if I could trade my Warlock for a Hunter, like a Warlock that was full, that was
Yeah.
up to date, I probably would. But at the same,
Yeah.
just because class fantasy wise, Hunter is just me, man, 100%. I play Warlock because it's good. In Classic, it's good.
Yeah.
It fits my bill. And same thing in TBC, I play Warlock because it's good. I don't love the idea of being
Getting
like,
owned in PvP by
No,
me, like
No,
like
dude. Like I play Warlock because it's strong as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take that long time at all for you to get a hunter on Classic, so you can bring it into TBC though as well.
It's
you
true.
can get a hunter
Thinking about
geared
it.
so quick,
Especially
Bringing
in
it
army.
Yeah,
MC
and you
to
level
get-
all the time. You love
Yeah.
leveling. You could stream material, level something.
Do it, dude. I don't know why you don't do it, Kargoz. Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter would be so sick too. Yeah, I mean, either way, Hunter or Warlock. We just have a lot of good options. Feels good, man. Right? Like, there's just there's so much fun shit.
We're gonna have some really good arena comps between all of us.
Oh my god.
I'm making the Wrath announcement though. Now I will be abandoning Shaman as a main for Wrath. That is 100% guaranteed.
Why is that?
For what?
That's so
I'm
random.
going DK for tanking, bro.
DK.
Oh, DK tank.
what?
Yeah.
DK was my main all through Wrath. Yep.
That makes
Melderon
sense.
is a
They were
DK?
disgusting in the
Yeah, dude.
beginning.
Yeah, but he used to play Frost DK tank back when that was allowed. Yeah.
What?
They changed that, and they changed that right before Old War. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I will definitely be going back to tanking when the Wrath comes out. 100%. That's not changing. Yeah.
Are you gonna tank in BC too? Don't you say you want to?
No, I'm staying Shaman in
Okay,
BC.
okay.
Yep.
I plan on having
Shaman
like
tank?
3-4 characters in BC.
They killed Shaman tanking in BC, man. They took away Rockbiter's threat generation. Yeah, it's
So, is there legendaries that mages and shit and casters can get in BC? Which ones? Is there?
the bow, right?
Except for you look at the KT fight. I mean,
The bow and the glaive, so that's it.
That's it,
Kill
right?
Foss, yeah.
Damn, feels weird, man. Yeah. There's no legendary, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that.
no ATS, no.
Yeah.
You need that AT. I need that for the Karazhan port.
True.
Yeah.
It's that mildly
Run
helpful.
that. That may or may not be the only reason I'm still playing Classic. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, good luck on the 40
Golly,
splinters
Crixx.
it would take.
Yeah, right.
Classic's a good game, man. You gotta give it a shot. It's just a server. It's just a server, man. I don't know. But all right, let's check out the Mage tier sets and we'll wrap up, guys. So here we go. We have the top one, tier 4, tier 5 right below it, the red boy, and then tier 6, Mr. I don't know.
they just look lame. All of them look lame, and it fits it because mages are lame. So I'm not mad about it.
So,
Dude, I love the hate. I love it.
No, their tier sets are the lamest, I think, across all the board, though. Like, if you look at every class, they have the lamest tier sets.
come on, though. Tier 5 is, for a fire mage, that is a good fire mage set.
Yeah, if you're fire,
Yeah, like Team Fire.
If you're fire, maybe. Yeah.
Five.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're fire, man. Shaman T5. I don't know how I just saw that, but that looks dope.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Malak.
tier 5 Shaman, those,
Oh,
yeah.
it's amazing, yeah.
So good.
Tier 4 mage isn't. I mean, where's the headpiece?
Let's see a
Is there
priest.
any- Oh, it's around the head. That's right. Yeah.
One of
It
those,
looks like a
weird
priest.
pieces.
Yeah.
It's lame.
Tier 6. Honestly, tier 6 mage like on an undead isn't horrible.
Tier 6 is the better of the tiers, but I don't know what's going on with that Halo, the video game Halo. That's what it looks like. He's wearing one of those.
It's
Very like those things that you have to go in, those old Forerunner structures and like disable.
Oh, wait, from Halo, is that what you said?
It looks like those old Forerunners.
Some,
I think of the ancient
looks exactly
cartographer.
like that.
You know that mission,
Holy
Yep,
shit, dude!
cartographer.
Oh my
the cartographer.
god!
You go down, you
yeah,
disable
it looks like you'd have those little grunts just running around his neck pieces on the collar.
That's so true.
Oh man, that is hilarious, man.
Yeah,
I
that
like
thing,
Tier
like,
5 because it's so vanilla and in a way that makes it really
it's very vanilla.
I
Yeah, tier
can't wait
5.
to have tier 5 priests, bro.
Tier 5 on everything to me. Tier 5 is just. I play a lot of classes on retail, and I go back Serpentine Counter TK and get all the transmogs for T5. They're just so dope.
Except for Hunter.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with Hunter. I don't know why they did it. Sometimes I wonder what they were thinking when they make some of the stuff they made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Paladin.
All mages.
And Paladin.
Well, Paladin's disappointing because look at tier 2 Paladin and then look at tier 5. What?
Yeah. It's like, where
Mogs.
they blew their load on tier 2 and then they could never get it back.
Tier 4 is not embarrassing. Let me say right now. Tier 6 is pretty embarrassing. Like, you would actually feel kind of bad putting that on and seeing your character every day. For me personally.
Oh, mage,
If I'm in full tier 6
yeah.
as mage, I'm actually going to feel kind of embarrassed. Like, I'm not going to identify with my character. I'm going to probably download some add-on that, like, changes it or something like that. Tier 5, not embarrassing. Actually, I would feel like I look cool if I was running tier 5
Yeah,
personally.
same.
And then tier 4, I feel like I would look respectable. Like, I don't look like I'm not nothing to write home.
Yeah.
I'm nothing to write home to mom about, but at least I'm not this guy, the rogue over here looking like freaking insectoid.
If they could put a better headpiece on the tier 5, it would have been dope. Like a nice little fucking headpiece instead of making a rogue cloak. In my opinion.
I
I
actually
agree.
love tier 4 Warlock. I love the headpiece.
Yeah, everything
Really?
Warlock is dope. Better watch
Well, I
out.
love the Void Walker aspect of it, you know?
That's the best part, and it comes with the headpiece.
Yeah.
You just get a black swirl on you at all times.
I love tier 4. I love all Warlock sets in BC, honestly. But tier 4 is probably one of my
Those are
favorites,
best.
honestly. They are.
Warlock
They are
Nation.
amazing.
Yeah, they could have done a lot better with Mage in this expansion, personally. Yeah, definitely. As far as the tier sets go.
This expansion is the weakest mages are in every single expansion of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Wait,
No
say that
joke.
again. Say that again.
This is TBC mages are the weakest in TBC than they are in any expansion in all of World of Warcraft.
No.
Still great in PvP though. They're still
come
great in PvP. So
They
I
go
don't
out,
know.
they're better in Lich. I mean, think about Lich. They were good in Lich.
The mages
They're
were
cat and
always
mouse. They were
good. That's the
better in
thing.
it.
Mages
They're
are
better
always
in
good.
everything. Yeah, but they're not good in
But
TBC.
there has to be a place where they're the lowest, and I think that's what Crixx is saying.
Yeah, they're not.
know it's
They're
kind of
still-
run
they're still good. Though.
I don't know, but who were you really keeping track of the mage meta and like Warlords of Draenor? Like, who even remembers that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, TBC, they were fine. You could
Facts.
raid as every spec. You could PvP at the highest level. You could get, well, maybe. Hold on. There's what Defcamp. I have to ask Navik about this too.
In
Like in
2v2,
twos, did you see mages in twos like top with gladiator mage twos? I don't think so.
More often you would see a healer comp.
Mage rogue.
Yeah, they were up there. They were.
Yeah, we're mage. Yeah, mage rogue.
Could you go
RPM.
priest
What?
mage?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying could you go priest mage in twos?
You would
wouldn't see
much
that.
more likely
you
go
mage
rogue
rogue.
mage. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like in
yeah,
two
yeah.
specifically, you wouldn't see druid mage either. Like it doesn't really fit
No.
in twos. Threes for sure. You could put mages. In
Yeah.
For something about twos and
feel
mages.
like-
That's a good point. Actually, is that the only mage choose comp or rogue?
Mages,
Can't you go with red paladin?
Yeah, red paladin. So the mages in 2v2s go much better with a burst spec or a control spec. So basically, yeah, like a red paladin with a burst. I've actually seen mage enhanced shaman. So mage rogue is by far the best 2v2 for a mage.
Yeah,
Mage
I'm looking at
warlock.
the
I mean, I've
rankings.
seen. Yeah.
I'm looking at the armory rankings for one of the private servers, and the only mage comp in twos here are rogue mage.
Yeah,
There's no.
The rogue mage
They're not with
very
anything else.
strong though. It is very strong. You have so much control.
Yeah, but what
burst,
I've
and
heard
burst.
though is that it's
And burst,
it's like maybe one team of mage rogue could get glad or something like that, but there's kind of a soft cap on it. Like you'll get to around 2K 2100, and then it's
Yeah.
tough to push
Kind of.
past
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
You need like a healer DPS. Comp.
Yeah, like priest, priest rogue or druid warrior.
It'll carry you to some good rating until you start fighting like lock druid or like a bunch of other good twos comps.
The cool thing I like about TBC too is that twos is just as good, right? It doesn't give you as many points, right, as threes and fives as far as the what do you call those points?
I actually prefer twos back in the day.
Me too. So good.
I very much preferred twos back in the day.
It's my favorite. It's my absolute
I
favorite.
feel like threes became very popular throughout, but I feel like back in the day, twos, at least in my world, twos were biggest for me. I did threes.
It's a good step in to get in there too.
Yeah, I did threes occasionally with I actually did disc shadow rogue in a threes team, or disc. I had another priest friend that I would play with as well. But and then we did priest mage rogue for long term in threes. But 2v2 for me is where it's at in BC.
And you can get
It's really stressful to play threes, really, because you're solo healing two people, and twos and fives is just more fun as a healer.
and in retail right now.
I never liked fives that much.
Same here. It was too chaotic for me.
It's like a BG,
Yeah,
dude.
it's
It's
too
like
much.
a BG,
yeah.
I liked it, but I didn't play it in TBC. I played it in Red.
Oh,
Apparently, if you're really big brain, Navik guarantees this to me that if you're super big brain in fives, it slows down to the point where it's like even twos. Like you understand everything going on. When I play fives, it's too much happening. I can't even keep track of cooldowns and shit. You just kind of
I've only
smash
had-
on
I'll-
it.
try it. I haven't tried it because I like twos and threes, but I'm gonna like actually try fives. I could see that happening when you're really into it and you have a good comp and it's not just hectic as shit. You probably
Here you go. We got a fives team right here, guys. Yeah.
No joke
Fives
though.
it.
Yeah, no joke. But the point
for
I'm getting
the
at
Alliance.
is in TBC, the rating you get in twos is just as good as threes or fives, right? You can get glad in twos.
Yes,
you
the
can
rating,
get
yep.
all the titles, all that stuff in twos, which is really, really hype. Because in retail, it's not like that anymore. You can't get that in twos, apparently. Like they took it out or something. Like you can't,
It has its own rating in retail. You can still get the rating on twos. Twos and threes have two different ratings. Same with RPGs.
I
So
think
if you
that's
go twos
stupid in
to-
my opinion.
Can you
but
get the
yeah.
glad title as twos though? Can you get some of the,
Yeah, but it's
still
just
get
for
the-
twos. It's everybody in twos. It doesn't mix and match with the threes. So like if I am glad in twos, it's not
Oh,
glad
okay,
in like
so they
twos,
changed
all
it back
arena.
then. That's pretty sick. Because for a time, Crixx, you couldn't get anything really in twos. It was just kind of pointless. There was no
Yeah,
title.
Get that
It's the
mount,
rating.
get three,
It's
get
all
that
for the rating.
310 mount speed.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I think for all in all, like I know I talked about this before, but I am really excited for the arena scene in TBC, and I don't know if it's gonna be bigger than the retail arena scene or whatever, but a lot of
will
people
be.
are gonna come back.
I think it will be.
A lot of the big arena guys are gonna come back, and I'm excited to see what that's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, Sea-Doo, everybody's going to be... It's the original arena. It's the best arena.
yeah.
There's no... what's it called, essences and shit that's helping you. All the stuff in retail right now, like the essences and the Azeroth armor, you don't use any of that.
Heals and all that.
Yeah, none of that is in TBC. This is just the freshest of the arena it's going to be. And imagine the Twitch culture, not from us, but from everybody.
Exactly.
Blizzard has to love it. Blizzard's going to love that. They're going to eat that shit up. Because look, imagine Twitch culture when arena's out there.
Maybe even BlizzCon.
Crappy BGs 24/7. But imagine
I disagree though in the best arena.
Damage done, and then arena.
I think Cataclysm or Mists was probably better for arena. It's by personal preference though. Cataclysm and Mists were really, really good PvP.
Monks
I can see that,
bro. Monks, you can never get monks,
Oh,
Karma,
I hate fucking monks, dude. Oh my god.
When monks got introduced, that's when the game kind of like, y'all can chill. You don't need a bunch of other classes. Like the DK, I get that. I get the lore of that. That was cool. But then you start adding the monks. That's when I was kind of like,
They got Cocoon and they can fucking move around like.
And Karma, bro. Like, Karma is the most infuriating thing to play against. They just throw it on and you just have to like run away.
Stagger.
And the fact they can jump around like a fucking like a jumping like a spiders. Like they can
the chi blast.
They can fucking they are.
They're like tornado kicking around, moving around, jumping around.
Yeah, the chi blast and that little idle thing they leave there.
I know it's sounding like a bunch of dad gamers right now. Oh damn monks! But like I don't know.
If you leave monks out, though, all classes are in a pretty good spot in PvP and in Mist. But if you think back, Cataclysm, people hate on Cataclysm so much, but the PvP was really fine.
Early Kata wasn't bad actually. Yeah. Early Kata wasn't.
It's just that's a Blizz curse. They do what the thing is they do every other expansion is good. So they have Lich King good. Kata was shit. Mop was good. Warlords was shit. Legion was good. BFA was shit. Now we're going to Shadowlands.
Well, we went. Didn't we have Kata and then? I guess
Kata then Mop. Kata was decent. Nobody really complained. Kata was all right. People didn't really like it that much because they changed the world so much. And then Mop was good. People liked it. Nobody really liked Draenor that much as they liked Legion. Legion was fine. Now nobody likes BFA going into Shadowlands. Shadowlands should be good based off that.
Well, let's wrap up, fellas. We're a little bit over right now. Where can everybody find you guys? Let's start with Crixx. Where can the people who want to see some more Crixx gaming, see some TBC, actually, being experienced? Where can they find you, bro?
I'll post it right now. I only do TBC stuff. I'm actually going to start streaming literally after this. We have Karazhan tonight and Gruels tonight in about an hour. It's just all TBC stuff. Yep. YouTube. Starting tomorrow, I'll start posting. I have a bunch of YouTube videos I'm going to start posting with raid guides, warlock guides, everything that has to do with TBC.
That's what's up. So you put it in the chat, right? Crixx. It's Crixx Gaming underscore. The underscore will kill you, though. I've tried to find your channel like a bazillion times. That underscore
at the end.
Yeah. Defcamp, where can they find you and your brother?
Yeah. So a lot of you guys might know us from Defcamp Melderon TV. It's our YouTube channel. It is a YouTube channel. We make content on a bunch of different things. Melderon's been really doing a lot about shamans, a lot about warrior, but we primarily talk about classic WoW. We love this game, right? So we talk about classic, we talk about TBC, everything, and we also do both stream. Melderon streams occasionally. I'm starting streaming a lot. You can find me at twitch.tv/Defcamp, and our YouTube channel I just posted as well. There you go, guys. So stream pretty regularly. Yeah.
Yep. Hell yeah, we also raid together. I raid with Defcamp Melderon, so if you want to tune into, I don't usually stream the raids, but if you want to get a shot at it,
I might stream tonight. Yeah, I'll probably stream tonight. Yeah.
Defcamp, we'll be raiding today and actually pretty soon. Yeah. So.
ZG and MC. Yep.
Yep. And then Dunedain, where can they find you, brother?
I have a small YouTube channel with some videos in it. I used to stream on YouTube a little bit, but since yesterday I decided to not stream YouTube and just stream Twitch. I started with Twitch like a month ago, I think, and I don't stream every day, but I started to stream a little bit more, and I really like it. So I posted the two links in the chat. The one is just, if you type Dunedain WoW in YouTube, you'll find it, and on Twitch it's Dunedain77, and then you'll find it as well.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, my man Orcbit, dude, thank you so much for being here, man. We're really, really good to catch up with you, brother. Where can the people find some more Orcbit content?
First of all, thank you for having me. It's been fucking great talking to you guys. Like, the reception has been almost royal, I would say. I am truly humbled. I'm Orcbit on YouTube, and on Twitch and Twitter, it's just OrcbitGG, really. Elemental streaming. I'm gonna have some videos coming out. I got the CG video from yesterday. I'm gonna do some video with that stuff. But I might ramp up the production and the streaming in the coming weeks due to
Nice.
Corona and everything.
Yep.
So if you are a person who would like that, then good for you and good for me, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't go wrong watching or being with Orcbit when he streams or watching his
No,
content.
you really can't. I'm linking his stuff right now, so it's his YouTube.
He has a lot of TBC content, guys. Same with him and Hamster. Like, they've been doing this way before it's flavor of the month. This is a little flavor of the month we're doing right now. We're hopping on that right now because it's coming. You know,
I don't know if I ever said this, but the reason I play Shaman is because of this guy right here.
Damn.
Like I did not play Shaman before I started watching Orcbit's content.
Damn.
So
Damn.
we're talking years ago. I mean, I played Shaman in retail, but not classic. I didn't play any vanilla Shaman until I watched Orcbit. So
I think I should maybe start a cult if I can convert people. Like
yeah, you should. Yep.
Just one last thing, Orcbit. Do you still have talks with those people from the podcast you had?
Oh yeah, daily. It's funny because you guys appreciate all this stuff so much, like the private chat and the podcasts and everything, and you know you are thankful for that. Like you have no idea how thankful I am. I actually met everyone from the podcast in real life. I met Dodgy and Dan in London at Comic-Con. I had Hamster Wheel visiting me and staying with me, partying.
That's awesome.
We went to a festival together, got drunk, and you know all this good stuff. You know, it's the same with you guys. I mean, obviously most of you guys are in the US, but hopefully you know I'll meet you guys one day too. And I just love it. I get so much out of this. And if other people who are watching or listening get, you know, just anything out of it, it's amazing to me. It's the whole reason why I love doing stuff that involves the community. It's the whole reason why I love classic WoW. You know, it's amazing.
We love you, man.
Each and every one of you guys is actually a good friend in my mind because, like, as I'm getting older, I don't know if you guys have a similar boat. All of you watching out there, you get older, you get married, you get a house, you move out somewhere, you move away from your original nesting area where you grew up and had your childhood. It's tough to go get out there and socialize and meet. It's not necessarily tough, but you feel a little bit more demotivated to do it. This is the closest thing I have to an active social life, for whatever that's worth. And these guys are, you know, my good friends at this point. So if you guys ever need anything, man.
Absolutely.
Melderon, you have any closing thoughts, Dr. Melderon?
Well, everyone stay safe, stay inside, don't go outside unless you have to. Stock up on stuff.
Social distancing.
Yeah. This shit'll be over soon. Well, soon is a relative term, but I know the CDC is and other places around the world are working hard for a vaccine. And once that happens, hopefully we can go back to life as usual. But in the meantime, just try to stay sane. I think that's the hardest thing. It's not about staying safe; it's about staying sane. So that's the most important thing. And we have a lot to look forward to on the WoW. We have AQ coming out soon. We have Nax after that, and then we hopefully have TBC after that. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
That's
Agreed.
Doctor's orders right there, guys. We'll see you next time on GMA 48. So we'll see you. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, man. Wash your hands.
Keep on running.
See you guys.
Peace out.